WIAA Division 1 first-round playoff game between the visiting D.C. Everest Evergreens and the host Kimberly Papermakers. It's a chilly Friday evening, but it's also time for playoff football, and we think we got a pretty good one here between these two teams. D.C. Everest out of the Valley Football Association. Kimberly, of course, the champions of the Fox Valley Association. And here hanging out with you as always is yours truly, Ricardo Arguello. Also with Brett Christopherson and bringing you those high-definition shots, Jim Rosandick. We're all part of USA Today Network Wisconsin, bringing you another live stream. Brett, interesting matchup, and one that, you know, maybe before the season we thought, okay, well, might be a game that maybe they wouldn't see each other in the first round. We'll talk a little bit more about D.C. Everest. Kimberly has the undefeated record, but here they are meeting up in the first round. Interesting game. We have yet to see D.C. Everest, so there's some question marks, I guess, in terms of what we're going to expect in this one.
Well, I think it's kind of a tricky 8th seed, don't you? With Everest being the 8th seed, Kimberly being 1. You look at as far as football tradition in this state. I mean, you talk about legendary programs. D.C. Everest under the late Wayne Steffenhagen, what they accomplished, 5 state championships, and of course the recent run, you could say recent being in the mid-2000s and then on with Steve Jorgensen and now Steve Jones and what this Kimberly dynasty has emerged into. So kind of a fun matchup, but yeah, this is always where we find out strength of schedule too. We always know the Fox Valley Association is one of the best leagues in the state, but we've been surprised by the play of the Central schools in the Valley Football Association, Wisconsin Rapids, Stevens Point, Wausau West, and this is a solid D.C. Everest team that this is, again, one of you think of 1-8 and think, oh, this is going to be an easy win for the top seed. I don't know. I would not be surprised to see the Evergreens maybe push the Papermakers a little bit here in this one. And who knows? Strange things can happen when it comes to high school sports. Should be fun, and I can't wait to see how this one plays out. Can't believe we're here in playoffs already. Where did those first 9 weeks go? Yeah,
and again, it's what, in the high 30s, low 40s tonight. Brett, you're in shorts still.
Hey, I had to.
Okay. Well,
I had to. That's 10 straight games. I've never accomplished that streak of shorts, and I'm not letting Mother Nature beat me, especially when it was just 70 degrees a few days ago.
Well, I'm glad you didn't shave your legs this week, my friend, because you're going to need that hair. But, me and Rosie are both – actually, Rosie's all bundled up, looking like Nanuka the North there. But yeah, you're taking a look at Kimberly. We'll do some prep or some football notes here, again, put together by Brett. I'll start with Kimberly. He'll follow with D.C. Everest. Kimberly, well, what do we know about Kimberly? Undefeated. Fantastic season again for the Papermakers. That's been almost the bar has been set that they're usually 9-0 or 8-1 going into the postseason. They're ranked number 2 in the state in the large division. They got a first-place vote for me, though, Brett.
There you go.
And they're also ranked number 2 – in Division 1 in the final Associated Press poll and the WISPortNet coaches poll. So they're number 2 in both polls, and they're coming off a 56-17 win over rival Kaukauna last Friday in the FVA regular season finale at Kaukauna. And Kimberly scored a combined 49 points over the second and third quarters on its way to clinching the outright FVA title. Colin Oberman, what a great season he's had. He's led a strong rushing attack for the Papermakers with 150 yards and 4 touchdowns on 16 carries. He scored on runs of 4, 48, 24, and 15 yards. And his final TD run came with 8:41 to play in the third quarter to give Kimberly a 35-17 advantage. Now, overall, Papermakers finished with 286 rushing yards. Blake Berry rushed for 58 yards and a touchdown, a 2-yard score in the third quarter, I should say. He had those 58 yards on 11 carries. And Matthew Lamers also was credited with a touchdown run, a 16-yard score in the fourth quarter on his way to a 42-yard effort. Quarterback Caden Pendleton, well, he's back. He threw for 197 yards and a touchdown on 11 of 14 passing. Cam Wennick led the Papermakers in receiving with 5 catches for 82 yards. Owen Polakowski, he was next with 4 catches for 80 yards. Isaac Deckant scored on a 22-yard catch late in the second quarter. And defensively, Mason Stepanski finished with 8 total tackles and a sack. His 67-yard interception for a score with 5:34 remaining in the third quarter. That gave Kimberly a 42-17 lead. Now on the season, Caden Pendleton has been fantastic. He's thrown for 1,329 yards, 12 touchdowns while completing 67% of his passes. His passing total ranks second in the conference. He also has 4 interceptions. And, Brett, he is an all-conference quarterback. The FVA all-conference team came over today. Now, Oberman and Berry have carried the rushing load. Oberman leads the way with 1,053 yards. That ranks second in the FVA and 13 touchdowns. He's rushing for an average of 117 yards a game. And Berry, He's had a pretty good season too, 521 yards and 12 scores. Now, Winnick's 39 receptions leads the team in that category. He also has 577 receiving yards and 3 touchdowns. And Polakowski is next with 32 catches for 616 yards. So both receivers, Brett, they're averaging in the 17 to 21 yard per reception area. That's explosiveness defined. Well, both, I should say Polakowski's numbers, that ranks 3rd in the conference. And he also has 9 touchdowns. Now, defensively, Ethan Doucette is a Papermaker's top tackler with 64 stops. He also has 2 sacks and a pair of interceptions. Stepanski and Sam McGovern, did I say that right? McGivern has 3 sacks apiece to lead the team. Josh Frazier has a team high 3 interceptions. Kimberly's averaging 170.9 yards rushing per. No, let me check that. Kimberly is averaging 170.9 yards per game passing.
There you go.
Yeah, and 214.7 yards rushing. That's been an uptick a little bit, Brett, since the North game.
And good
because
balance.
I think they were pretty balanced even. Now the passing game's kind of taken over a little bit. Kimberly's defense, they're allowing 151.6 yards per game passing, 101 yards rushing. And overall, the Papermakers are averaging just a shade under 40 points a game, 39.3, and they're allowing 12. Now, if Kimberly wins, remember, this is a postseason.
Or D.C. Everest wins.
Or if D.C. Everest wins, it will play either Stevens Point or Chippewa Falls next Friday in a WIAA Division I second-round playoff game. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 o'clock. Interesting. Brett, we'll talk about Stevens Point. Nice rebound there.
Very nice.
Nice rebound there by the Panthers this season. Really kind of shocking to everyone. But, yeah, that kickoff scheduled again next week for 7 o'clock. Brett, what can you tell me about D.C. Everest?
Yeah, D.C. Everest 5-4 coming into this one. Evergreen's, Ricardo, coming off actually a Week 9 forfeit victory over Wausau East. Remember, East didn't play a season, right? I believe at the varsity
they're
level.
an 8-man, too, because Wausau East is actually playing St. Mary Catholic
There you go.
week.
So, yeah, so the Evergreens haven't played since taking down Hortonville 30-15 in a Valley Football Association Week 8 matchup over in Schofield. Brock Babich, he paced the balanced rushing effort with 73 yards and a touchdown on that one, a 1-yard score in the third quarter that gave Everest a 20-6 lead. Nick Cotter and Jack Bobinski were also credited with scoring runs as they finished with 33 and 32 yards respectively. Ty Strelo finished with the other rushing touchdown as the Evergreens totaled 153 yards on the ground. Bobinski and Bo Svoke shared quarterback duties. Bobinski threw for 89 yards on 2 of 3 passing. He also tossed an interception. Svoke finished with 63 yards on 4 of 8 passing. Strelo, Ricardo led all receivers, 4 catches for 91 yards, and defensively, Carson Davchik finished with 11 total tackles. Strelo was credited with 9 total stops. On the season, Svoke is Everest's top passer, 434 yards and 3 TDs. He has completed 64% of his throws. Bobinski has thrown for 417 yards and 5 touchdowns while completing 54% of his passes. Looking at interceptions, Svoke has 3. Bobinski has tossed 2 picks. Babish leads the way in rushing with 576 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's rushing for an average of 72 yards per game. Strelo is tops on the team in receiving with 35 catches for 426 yards and 3 TDs. His receiving yards rank second in the VFA. Defensively, Davchik is the Evergreens' leading tackler with 73 total stops. Max Buchholz is next with 67 tackles. Arlen Sangster and Mitch Danielski have 6 sacks apiece to lead the way in that category. Alex Schuster has a team-high 4 interceptions. D.C. Everest is averaging 95.9 yards per game passing and 157.9 rushing. They're allowing 105.8 yards per game passing and 160 yards rushing. And overall, the Evergreens, Ricardo, averaging 23.8 points per game and allowing 18.4. That's through their first 8 games. And as Ricardo mentioned, the winner of this one takes on either Stevens Point, that's Spash, or Chippewa Falls next Friday night, second round game. We'll talk more about this game after our national anthem.
Our country with our national anthem. We encourage you to join in singing.
Great job by the Kimberly Marching Band on their rendition of the national anthem tonight as we get ready for this WIAA Division I first round playoff game. The undefeated and second-ranked Kimberly Papermakers taking on D.C. Everest. Kimberly, the 1 seed here at Papermaker Stadium. The Evergreens, the 8th seed. Hey, got to give a shout-out to our playoff sponsor, Ricardo, Unison Credit Union. Unison proudly provides the people and businesses of Northeast Wisconsin with exceptional banking services and trusted financial guidance. Delivered by friendly experts, personal checking and personal savings, investments, loans, business checking and business savings. Unison Credit Union empowering you. And also, quick shout out to our apparel sponsor, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Get your team, club, or business name out there with Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They customize products specifically to fit their customers' needs. Family owned for 20 years, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Delivery service is available. Contact them today at 920-731-0922 or send them an email at Cooney's, COONEYS 0922 at sbcglobal.net. A lot of good stuff to get to tonight, Ricardo. I know you're going to keep track of all the playoff scores.
Exactly.
That we don't know quite where we're going to be next week. It's always a wait and see.
I will say, anyone listening live, if you are privy to some of these scores, please pass them along, and I'll read them off on air as we do this, Brett, because this is a playoff. Everyone wants to know who's doing what in the first round. So hashtag HSSWI if you're on Twitter yourself, or you can send it to us, right? I'm at PC Ricardo. Brett's at PC Brettsy. Don't forget my man Rosie at Metal Rosie. But yeah, Brett, first round of the playoffs, one of my favorite times of the year. And I'm excited.
There's always some weird stuff that happens first round. You look at some scores like, wow, could this really happen? One of the interesting games involving a Fox Valley Association school is that Kaukauna at Hartford game. That should be a real interesting matchup as well. We kind of want to see how Appleton North is doing tonight. They have an interesting game at home against Hudson. Everybody's always putting the horse in front of the cart, right, and thinking level 3 state quarterfinals. Could Kimberly and Appleton North meet again? D.C. Everest is saying, hey, not so fast. Let's get through the first round first.
Brett, we love doing that as sports journalists. We love speculating. That's what we do. And D.C. Everest will receive to start tonight's game. Again here at Papermaker Stadium on the campus of J.R. Garrett's Middle School.
Ty Strelo, number 1, and Triton Schmidt, number 10, back to receive this opening kick. That's a good time of year, isn't it? These next 4 weeks should be a blast, and we got to thank, again, Unison Credit Union, our playoff sponsor, for allowing us the opportunity to stream first round, second round, state quarterfinal, and state semifinal games this season. So thank you for your support of Prep Sports. And,
thank you, Unison.
Yeah, they are our scoreboard sponsor as well for these next 4 weeks. Ooh, a little short kick, Ricardo. Look at that.
Taken at the 35.
Yeah, that was Ethan Hansen, number 24. So interesting strategy special teams-wise as this game gets underway. A short little pooch kick and a good field position for the Evergreens. We'll talk about just how legendary these two programs are in state history, but combine these two programs, Ricardo, 12 state titles.
Woo! Obviously, Kimberly's a little more recent, but D.C. Everest, they've had some success this century as well.
Oh, yeah. I think it was 05, I want to say. Yes. It was their last Division I state title under the legendary Wayne Steffenhagen. And there's a handoff, big number 40. Getting hit, that's Brock Babish, the senior running back, getting a couple to start things off for the Evergreens.
Ball's taken up to the 42.
Thank you to Ryan McGinnis, Ricardo, the athletic director at Kimberly High School, always making sure we're set up. We always appreciate that. And the guys next door in the booth letting Rosie kind of get a little cozy there so he doesn't have to be outside in the elements tonight.
Brett, I'll tell you what, I forgot to bring the little space heater. Might got to do that next weekend.
Oh, it's not so bad. Come on.
It is.
Dropping back, looking downfield, and incomplete. That's number 7. Bo Svok is the quarterback right now. Third down coming up.
Yeah, already in third and long situation for D.C. Everest. I didn't like. I like the route. I think the ball just took a little bit too long getting out there, Brett. Kind of a timing play
Well, it'll be interesting to see now. They'd like to go Zvok and I believe Bobinski are the two quarterbacks. Zvok is number 7. Jack Bobinski is number 16. Zvok back there right now on this series. 3rd down and 7 for the Evergreens. Zvok on the run, looking for something, and not much there, Ricardo. Good coverage downfield.
Well, good coverage and great pressure put on Zvok by the Kimberly defense, and very active already. They did a pretty good job of rolling him out into into the right side of the field and also protecting him, but there was really nothing there. Of course, as you roll out quarterbacks to one side of the field, you only have half of the field to work with.
Right. It goes quickly, doesn't it? You definitely run out of real estate. But I like the play call, and I like getting your quarterback out and kind of getting him feeling good, getting him into the rhythm of the game. It was just good defense by Kimberly. Yeah,
and this is where, again, where those completions are so critical. That could have been a 3rd and 1 situation had that previous pass been completed.
Jackson Wild back. Well, I think that hit.
It did.
Yeah, it was
that
number
cover that
25. I think it was Josh Bailey. He was just going down, doing his duty, and it's just the way the ball bounced. So lucky for Kimberly, nobody from Everest, or sometimes you see the ball take a weird skip and hop backwards. But in any event, Kimberly will take over at its own 33. First time we're seeing this Papermakers offense on the field. And good to see Caden Pendleton back. Last time we were here streaming a game was Week 7 against Fond du Lac. He got banged up there. I think he missed Week 8. Seth Myron came in, did a nice job. And then Pendleton back in for that big win last week against the rival Kaukauna Ghosts. And there's a handoff right away to Colin Oberman. Boy, look at that offensive line go to work. And Oberman, we said this in Week 7 when we were here for the Fond du Lac Kimberly game. He looked faster, didn't he, than what we saw in Week 4 when we were here for the Kimberly-Appleton North matchup as well. So you can just see that offensive line getting off on the snap, playing at a faster pace, and he just looks very difficult to bring down because not only does he have speed, but he's got power and he's got that little shiftiness too.
I thought Strela did a good job of getting him down. That might have gone for a little bit more. As Pendleton rolls to the right, there's a flag on the – and that's almost picked off, Brett.
Yeah.
But there's a flag. We'll see what that's going to be. Groshek with the pass defense. Brett, almost an interception for him as well. An illegal procedure against the Papermakers will march them back 5 yards.
Yeah, you mentioned the Fox Valley Association all-conference team announced today. We'll kind of go through who made it for Kimberly. First team, offense, defense. Actually, the Valley Football Association's all-conference team announced as well. And not surprisingly, both teams represented well.
What was it?
So 1st down and 15 for the Papermakers. That's Oberman looking to get around. No. And good tackle. Is that number 22? It is for the Evergreens. Max Buchholz, the senior linebacker, getting out there and bringing down Oberman. Not an easy task, but a loss on the play. Ball at the 35-yard line.
Second and 17 for Kimberly, so a rare 2nd and long for the Papermakers.
Well, we'll see. Normally a tough situation for a high school offense, but when you have two outstanding receivers in Polakowski and Winnick, and there's Pendleton. Just overshot. That was Winnick wide open, getting behind that defense.
Brett, he had beaten his defender by good 3 or 4 steps.
Have to think that's going to be in the back of head coach Steve Jones's mind as he's dialing up the plays tonight, right? Maybe feeling pretty comfortable that he's got a receiving tandem in Winnick and Owen Polakowski that could have a big night. That's tough duty when you have that type of talent in your wideout group.
3rd and 17 from the 35 for Pendleton and the Kimberly offense. 2 receivers near side, 2 receivers far side. High snap.
Watch out, screen.
That was a good idea, Brett. I like that play call, but boy, I thought D.C. Everest did a good job of blowing that up.
Boy, and you got to give that Everest defense credit to really coming there and bringing down Oberman a couple plays earlier was Buchholz, but that procedure penalty, everything looked good on that 1st down run by Oberman, but the backtracking are the Papermakers, and pretty good field position should be on the way for the Evergreens. think there's some extra jitters on a first-round playoff game than a Week 8 game or something.
Well, maybe D.C. Everest came out, and very excited and ready to go.
That's a high punt. You got to get away from that one as well. And there's no green helmets or shirts around that football.
They're marking that at about the 32, I believe.
I wonder if anybody watching from the Wausau area, D.C. Everest fans, when did Everest go away from remember the classic? They had the DCE on the helmets and on the jerseys. It always, boy, when they as somebody who grew up in central Wisconsin, that they had a mystique very much like Kimberly when I was growing up. You heard about D.C. Everest, you're like, whoa, this is real stuff here. This is big boy football. And always remember the DCE on the front of the jerseys and on the helmets. Number 40 on the carry. That is Brock Babish. Got to bring those classic uniforms back.
Gain of a yard. Second down and long for D.C. Everest, Brett. And, again, I had talked to Coach Strelo a few years ago. I think maybe actually was last season during the COVID situation going on, and they felt that they were maybe turning the corner a little bit and maybe wanted to play some teams from the Fox Valley Association a little more regularly.
I think that might be Simon Witt, number 26, a junior running back. Not a lot there as that Kimberly defense swarming the ball carrier. Well, I mean, they sort of did, right? In the old VFA and the former structure, there was some plenty of crossover.
Because a couple of the FVA teams now play in the VFA. I think they maybe wanted to come down and be in the Fox Valley Association.
Sure, be with Appleton North and in Fond du Lac, yeah. Third down coming up for the Evergreens, 3rd and 9. Going deep downfield, the lefty looking for and let's see, there's a flag, couple flags. And that, Ricardo, number 16, Jack Bobinski, the quarterback on this series.
Yeah, it's unfortunate for the defender out there. Is that number 20 for Kimberly?
Ty Lawton?
Yeah, he had his hands up. The thing is, he didn't look back at the quarterback, and that ball was in the air for quite a long time. But first down situation now for D.C. Everest, and that's a 15-yard penalty. Now, high school, it is a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul. I'm not sure if our friend Ken, the official, is tuning in, but if he is, I know that is the official yardage for a pass interference, 15 yards.
Yeah, so ball near midfield at the Everest 48-yard line. Bobinski still in at quarterback. So
hey, when you're an underdog, anything like this is a boost.
Absolutely. And let's see what Bobinski has called up here. And I think we're going to get, is that going to be against D.C.
Yes.
Everest? It's going to back up the Evergreens 5 yards. Yeah, looking at the series, you kind of mentioned the VFA, the FEA. Kimberly leads 6-0. Papermakers have won every single meeting. This is only the 4th meeting between the two here at Papermaker Stadium, and the first since 2015. But these two teams, Ricardo, haven't met since 2016.
Okay.
And I think 17, 18, and 19, didn't they sort of regroup the VFA as well? But, yeah, looking at 2011, Kimberly won 52-40. Then 2012, Kimberly won 52-zip. 2013, Kimberly won 56-8. 2014, Kimberly won 35-zip. 2015, Kimberly won 46-29. And then the last time, that was a 42-14 victory by the Papermakers in 2016 as Bobinski looking downfield, and I think he found his receiver for a first down. And getting him out on the run, that's number 22, Max Buchholz on the reception. And you got to like, Tim Strelo, the head coach here at D.C. Everest, likes to get both those quarterbacks on the run. And now this time you got to deal with a lefty. So he's going on the opposite side and threw a dart to Buchholz, first down, ball at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, 20-yard pass play there, Brett. Simple play. Good job of Bobinski to get that into the hands of his receiver.
Nothing doing there for, again, number 40, Brock Babish, the 5'10", 185-pound senior running back. Yeah, in those 6 games, average scoring margin 47.2 to 15.2. So obviously Kimberly dominating this short series. Second down, 8 to go, 2-yard gain for Babish.
3 carries, 6 yards early on for Babish.
Babish next to Bobinski, a little
Strelo.
pass to Strelo, and nothing doing. Boy, good job by number 28 for the Papermakers. Josh Frazier, the senior defensive back, bringing down Strelo. So 3rd down coming up. That's Ty Strelo, number 1, 6'1", 195-pound senior, listed as a running back and a defensive back for D.C. Everest.
Yeah, back to the original line of scrimmage, so a loss of 2 yards. I fooled nobody, Brett.
Little push pass.
If it goes forward, it's a pass. Remember, Ken the official. 3rd down and 10 for D.C. Everest. We'll see if the Evergreens can try to get some points here. Look out.
There's nothing downfield, and Bobinski looking for the 1st down. He's going to be shy. And considering where the ball is going to be spotted, this has to be 4-down territory.
He's quick.
He
I can
is.
tell you right now, he's very fleet of foot. He went 0 to 60 in basically 3 steps.
Yeah, junior, 5'11", 165 pounds on the program, but very elusive, and I like his decision-making. He didn't see anything downfield, didn't panic, and said, I'm taking off. I got the legs to make something happen. So 4th down and what?
3.
3 coming up for the Evergreens.
This is a manageable 4th down if you're DC Everest.
Yeah,
so
ball at the 30-yard line.
what do you got to lose? You come in here as the 8th seed. You got to throw caution to the wind, don't you?
Looks like an official timeout as we look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard, still scoreless with 6:31 to play here at Papermaker Stadium. Beautiful night. A little chilly, but no wind. That makes it a little bit more tolerable, Ricardo. 4th down for the Evergreens. Babinski looking, little pump fake. He's going to go on the run. No,
Stefanski.
he came flying through, Ricardo. Number 1, the senior linebacker, Mason Stepanski. Bobinski wanted to get out there, I think, and maybe run for the 1st down or go for it, but Stepanski just shot through.
Yeah, Brett, and that was, he was a spy on the quarterback, and he did a great job. But first off, sometimes when it's that one-on-one kind of thing, and a guy who's quick, you have troubles wrapping up. Not that time. Stepanski did the job, and now Kimberly starts, Brett, 1st down and 10 at their own 34.
I mentioned Bobinski not hesitating. Same thing with Stepanski. He saw an opening and went for it and brought down the quarterback. So turnover on downs, and now Pendleton slings it over to Owen Polakowski, and a nice tackle by number 10 of Everest, Triton Schmidt.
Ball's going to be marked at the 40, so a gain of 6 yards, 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, and a nice play, Ricardo, too, because now you get Pendleton in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe get that ball out of his hands quickly. If they're going to play off these receivers, you can get it to them, and then they can make things happen in space. But get your quarterback hot. Get him going, and we've seen Pendleton really heat up at times.
Yeah, Schmidt playing off of Polakowski down near side.
There's Blake Berry, his first touch of the game, and he's just as tough to bring down as Oberman, and he spins his way past the 50-yard line.
Barry with the trucking guys. I'm not sure what button that is on the Xbox controller, but he takes it out right to midfield, so 10-yard gain for Blake Berry.
We talked about a little bit earlier the tandem at wideout for the Papermakers and Polakowski and Winnick, but what a nice tandem at running back in Oberman and Blake Berry. And Everest respecting the speed of these wideouts, so there's a little push pass to Winnick, and going to let Winnick do some stuff in space, looking for a block downfield, and a good little play there. Easy 1st down, ball near the 30.
Now that was a pass, right?
That's a push pass in my book, right?
I'm just asking.
Actually going to be at the 34-yard line, so the Papermakers on the move here in this 1st quarter.
16-yard gain for Winnick. Obviously, Winnick, quite the track athlete. You want to get him out into space.
His brother Connor, playing for Air Force.
Yes.
Wonder if he's watching tonight. Blake Berry back there with Pendleton, a little play fake. Pendleton downfield, beautiful throw to Polakowski. Looked like a little slant play and just hit him in stride. Nice throw and good catch, good hands by Polakowski. Ball at the 21-yard line, looks like.
Brett, that was a big boy throw.
Check that 22-yard line. That was. Or, I'm sorry, 17-yard line. 17-yard line is where they spotted the ball. 1st and 10.
17-yard gain for Pendleton, so nice. 16 yards, 17 yards for him on this drive.
Oberman now in the backfield with Pendleton. And Oberman has it. Boy, big block. Cutting inside, outside, and I think he's off to the races. And that's a 17-yard score. There was some great blocking. Then we got a Papermaker down, though. And grabbing that shin, maybe. Trying to get a number there. Looks like number 69, Ricardo. Is that Blake Loker? Junior offensive lineman down for the Papermakers. Hopefully he's okay. And good to see him up and walking off the field. Do you have him for 17 yards, Ricardo?
Yeah, I put it down 17. Again, nice. Nice job by the offensive line. They really gave Oberman a nice hole to run through.
I was watching that in my binoculars, and there was nothing but green in front of him after you got past that last block. Cam Zeeble out for the PAT for Kimberly. And that is good. So first score of the night goes to the Papermakers, a 17-yard run by Colin Oberman. As we look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard, Papermakers up 7-zip with 4:47 to play here in the first quarter.
Yeah, 5 play. It appears to be a 66-yard drive. So 5 plays, 66 yards. Again, Pendleton with completions of 6, 16, and 17 yards, Brett. So chunk plays for the Papermakers here on their second offensive drive to get that touchdown.
And like I said, got the quarterback going, right? Because he missed a couple throws in that first series and got him going here and into a rhythm. And as we've talked about, now this is our third time seeing Kimberly, but we've seen the box scores. We kind of follow along with what they're doing all season long, and balance, offensive balance. Pick your poison. What do you want to stop if you're an opposing defense right now? Because they can hurt you in multiple ways, through the air and on the ground. We just saw it there with that 17-yard run by Oberman, yet a drive that was really defined by Pendleton hitting his receivers.
See if I can update some of these scores that are coming in. Again, anyone have any scores from around the area, please feel free.
Again, short
Send
kick.
them in.
And that is to, again, number 24 of the Evergreens. I believe that's Ethan Hansen.
Is that an attempt to keep it out of Stralo's hands?
It must be. They must certainly be respecting Ty Stralo, the son of Everest head coach Tim Stralo.
Well, Brett, speaking of Valley Football Association, Wisconsin Rapids up 14-0 over Oshkosh West.
Okay.
See if I can pull down some of these other scores. Denmark up 6-0 over Two Rivers. Denmark is a really very good team, Brett.
Very good.
Over there in the Northeastern Conference.
Yeah, they've had a nice season.
Pacelli. This game's over already. D7 playoffs, 46-14. Sorry, Rosie, over Assumption.
Yeah, I believe that was a double header at Gerke Field, I should say, at Stevens Point. Low snap. Good job by Spoke to get it. Boy, he's on the run.
Oh, that's a
I think that's got to be a
clear
hold.
hold.
Yeah, you could see number 44, Ethan Doucette, holding his hands as you got a fistful of jersey, but you know what? It's better than getting your quarterback crushed, right? So protecting the quarterback, but you'll take the penalty and move back 10 yards.
Again, 7-0 score here. Papermakers scoring on their second possession. 17-yard touchdown run by Colin Oberman. Where's that ball placed, Brad? Right at the 25?
Right at the 20-yard line, 20. Right at the 20.
This will be first down and 24, I believe, for D.C. Everest. Not the direction you want to go against the Papermakers.
Svoke getting things set at the line. Again, low snap, little flip, but nothing doing there. Wow.
I'm making another big tackle for loss by Stepanski, Brett. Had the sack earlier
I think that was 19, Nick Cotter, who was brought down by the Evergreens. I think also was that 92 getting in there as well for the Papermakers, Sean Barant, the senior defensive lineman, along with Stepanski. And
Barant also a heck of a track and field athlete as well in the throws.
Boy, look at this. Second down and a mile to go here for D.C. Everest. Officially, second and 26, ball at the 18-yard line. What do you have in your playbook for this? Just try to get a little bit and set up a good third down play?
I would say a screen is an option here, depending on how aggressive you feel the defensive front is for Kimberly.
Delay of game now, too.
Boy.
Wow. So second and 31 coming up for D.C. Everest. Evergreens going the wrong direction.
Hey, Brett, my good friend Ed, he's watching Berlin and Xavier, or listening to that one.
That's an interesting game.
And Xavier's up 3-0 over Berlin.
Yeah, Berlin. Was that Joe Stellmacher now, the
yes,
coach? The former Badger?
Right.
Yeah, he's done a nice job over there.
And my friend Ed, he has a nephew who plays Cole Butke.
Okay.
On a very good running back for Berlin. Him and Cade Martin. That's a pretty good 1-2 punch there for the Indians.
I've had some good experiences in Berlin watching both of my sons play. I like that town. Good people there. Look at this. Watch out on the run. That is Babish. And now here you go, Ricardo. So that run does set up a manageable third down.
Yeah, Stepanski had to come from behind to track down Babish. But now you're looking at a 3rd and 9.
Much better than 2nd and 31.
Ball's at the 35.
So a 3rd and 9. Yeah, I like that name, the Evergreens and Papermakers. It's the all.
I love the Evergreens. Yeah.
The all nickname game, right?
Well,
two of the better ones.
So DC Everest is kind of like the Stanford Cardinal.
Yeah. I guess would that be their mascot?
Yeah.
Smoke, watch out! Oh, he's scrambling back there, kind of looking like Russell Wilson.
Oh, not
fumble. Picked up. That's going to be in for the end zone. Ricardo. That's Barant. Wow.
That's about a 23-yard fumble return. And look at Barant. You got to love it when the big guys get a chance to tote the rock.
Yeah, the 6'3", 225-pound senior not only showing some wheels when he gets the ball, but how about the good hands to scoop that up off the turf?
Brett, who had the initial sack? Did you see that?
I did not see that. I was too busy marveling at how Svolk was able to get out of trouble.
Yeah, Svolk did a good job. Again, you're an 8 seed. You're coming in. You want to make a play, but that was a quick defense, a defensive play in terms of getting him down on the ground and causing that fumble.
Cam Zeeble with the PAT, but no good.
So 13-0 lead for Kimberly. Again, I'll update my Twitter. I'm at PC Ricardo.
I'm sorry, how many yards did you say that return
23.
was?
That's just off. That's unofficial, of course. Yeah. So let me update my Twitter. I'm at PC Ricardo. Brett's at PC Brettsy. Rosie's at Metal Rosie. So Sean Barant.
Yeah, big old number 92 scooping up that loose ball, looking like a running back as he rumbles into the end zone from what we're calling a 23-yard fumble return for a score. And as we look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard, Papermakers now with back-to-back touchdowns, 13-0 the lead over the Evergreens late in the first quarter. Papermakers also with that 17-yard run by Colin Oberman. That capped a 5-play, 66-yard march on Kimberly's second offensive possession. And Zeeble, we know he's got a big leg, but obviously the strategy not to kick it deep and trusting the defense, right?
Yeah. Hey, update from Xavier Berlin. Berlin up 7-3 early in the second quarter.
Yeah, that could be a real good game. Now this one a little bit deeper, taken at the 15. That's number 19, Nick Cotter, and tripped up.
See if I can grab some other scores from around the state. Again, my favorite time of year, seeing all these playoff scores.
Appreciate everybody watching tonight on multiple sites and platforms. We got the stream link to, of course, the Post Crescent folks, the WIAA Daily Herald folks, actually all of our central Wisconsin sites, Stevens Point Journal, Wisconsin Rapids Daily Tribune, and the Marshfield News Herald. Also, Green Bay Press Gazette and the Oshkosh Northwestern, both sites and Facebook pages, and our YouTube channel, USA Today Network Wisconsin. Give that a look and subscribe as well. Looks like Witt, the ball carrier on that handoff, maybe a couple yards there, second down. Gives me also a chance, folks. We've got a great deal right now on a digital subscription to the Post Crescent and all of our USA Today Network Wisconsin sites for the next 6 months. You can get all the benefits included with the digital subscription, just $1. 6 months for $1. That includes full access on your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices every day.
Again, Brett, as I always say, if you can't be an athlete, be an athletic supporter.
Yes, please. Right now you can go as, that is number 26, Simon Witt again on the carry. You can go like postgresn.com/subscribe, any of our sites. I will say there is one exception, and that is for the our readers and viewers of the WIAA Daily Herald. Right now the digital subscription is $4.99 per month for unlimited digital access. Sign up for that offer at wasadailyherald.com/subscribe.
Brett, a manageable third down here for D.C. Everest now.
And a needed one.
Yes, and that passing game, I think, has potential here. We'll see what the Evergreens do. That's right off the left side, brings up a fourth and moderately short situation.
Witt on the handoff again, and I think if you're D.C. Everest, you got to punt this thing away. You can't wait too early, down 2 scores, to try to go for it in your own territory, right? And I think that's what we're going to see.
It brings up a fourth and a long 2 against Stepanski with the tackle.
Yeah, having a big game.
Boy, this guy pops. Let me tell you, on the defensive side for Kimberly, Stepanski really is a guy that you got to account for on offense.
Jackson Wild's back for this one. And are they thinking about going for it? And no, okay.
No, okay.
I thought maybe he was thinking about taking off. Wilds is just going to let this one bounce. Kind of had the look, didn't he, of sort of thinking about tucking that ball in and trying to get around the edge, but punts it away, and Kimberly will have the ball on its own 15-yard line with just 27 seconds remaining in this opening quarter.
Denmark up over 2 Rivers, 12-0. Kimberly now up 13-0.
Oberman. And spins his way past the 20. Looks like maybe at the 21, 22-yard line. Wondering if that might be the final play of this first quarter.
I think it will be, Brett. It doesn't look like there's any urgency on the Kimberly side. Good quarter for Kimberly, offensively and defensively, as they, as the quarter comes to an end. 13-0 lead for the Papermakers. Going to update my Twitter, Brett. You can follow me again at PC Ricardo, Brett at PC Brettsy. And Rosie at Middle Rosie.
Yeah, and we'll be back, Ricardo, to Papermaker Stadium after this short message. Welcome back to Papermaker Stadium. Second down coming up for the Papermakers. 2nd and 3, ball on their own 22-yard line as we kick off this second quarter. 13-0 Papermakers on top as we look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard. And a little, we're going to call that a little push pass again, Ricardo, to Cam Winnick. Easiest completion you can find.
No, yeah,
right?
maybe even I could do that.
I think so. Good quarter for Kimberly. 17-yard touchdown run by Colin Oberman, and then the 23-yard fumble and rumble right into the end zone. Fumble recovery by number 92, Sean Brandt.
Brent Schutpels, thank you. Saying a shout out to him for watching tonight.
Appreciate you, Brent. First down and
nice
10.
TV setup.
Pump fake, and
he has his guy.
Almost picked off.
Was that tipped at the line?
I couldn't tell, but almost maybe could be some miscommunication as well. Nick Cotter, number 19, just about had a big interception for the Papermakers. So 2nd and 10. Couldn't tell if it was tipped, but in any event, if not, definitely some miscommunication there on that route and pass.
Hey, want to give a shout out to Sarah Campbell. MD, she said, hey, it was Sam McGivern with the sack for Kimberly. Thank you, Sarah, for helping us.
See, we have spotters all over social media, don't we?
They love us.
We can only do so much as a 3-man crew.
Let's just say we're very limited. 2nd down and 10 at the 28.
In more ways than one, as Colin Oberman brought down. Limited in many ways.
Set your expectations low, is what we're saying.
Yeah, if you want to turn down the sound, feel free.
Yes.
You know.
You get sick of hearing us, yes. 7-yard gain brings up a 2nd and short for Kimberly now.
Actually, Ricardo, no, 3rd and 8.
3rd and 8.
Ball at the 30.
I thought it was the 35.
See, there we are, limited.
Limited.
We need crew. We need a stat crew. We need a spotter crew.
Somebody help us.
Yes. Here's Oberman, or I should say Pendleton, waiting for the snap. Looking. He's got some. Oh, watch out. A lot of pressure, and I think that pressure, he had to hurry the throw. Looking towards Ethan Kreider, number 10, but nothing doing. And good job by this Evergreens defense to get off the field.
That's the most active I've seen DC Everest in terms of rushing the quarterback, Brett. Doing a really good job and forcing a 3-and-out.
That is a big stop and a much-needed stop for an Evergreen squad that's down 2 scores and needs to turn the momentum here in some way.
Again, up and down the valley, all our playoff teams are playing. Mayville's up 14-0 over Brookfield Academy. The Cardinals having a great season.
Ooh, nice punt. And Ty Strelo is going to get a chance to return one. He is tough to bring down, but good job by the Papermakers not letting him escape. A very dangerous return man for DC Everest.
Yeah, he takes it up to the 43 BC. So near midfield for DC Everest. Now, you know, offensively, you had the one big run. Can you build some momentum here? Try to put some points on the board. You're down 13-0, but, you know, it's what, nearly 10 minutes left in the first quarter. A score here, Brett, you know, keeps things within striking distance.
Oh, absolutely.
Cal Martini scores for Appleton North. They're up 13-0.
So Hudson had to make the trip all the way to Appleton tonight, huh? Whoa, look at this. Is Volk looking for some first down yardage and gets close.
That's just, I'm surprised that they did come all the way down. Sometimes Appleton North has been unfortunately been forced to play their first home game, you know, at DC Everest or some other central location.
Well, that was a game that was under consideration for the Varsity Game of the Week, but we thought maybe they might end up having to go to central Wisconsin somewhere just to meet Hudson. So who knows, right?
2nd and short for DC Everest. Off the right side, is that Babish? Looks like he got the first down.
That is Babish, so a good start to this series for the Evergreens.
3-yard carry. 1st and 10 at the 46 for DC Everest.
Volk hands off. That's Babish again, and getting a nice push in that offensive line. Ricardo's getting 4 or 5 yards there. Yeah, looking at the Everest schedule, they opened the season August 19th with a nice win over Green Bay Preble, 42-20, and then a little bit of a slide. A couple tough losses. August 26th, lost by 1 to Chippewa Falls, 10-9. Yeah, that was a Week 2 game. Then they followed it up with a Week 3 setback against Wausau West that ended up having, the VFA champions, the Warriors. That was a 20-13 game. So 2 games by 8 points as far as losing in Weeks 2 and 3. Savoke, watch out. Got to get rid of it. No, he held on too long. And that's Sam McGivern, the sophomore defensive lineman, number 93, getting in on that sack. And that's a big loss for D.C. Everest. How about Sam McGivern, Ricardo, staying with it? Savoke can be very tricky. He's quick. And McGivern, the sophomore, showing some quickness, too, out of your defensive lineman.
Yeah, he just had the forced fumble, Brett, that led to that touchdown by Durant. Now, the quarterback sack, I should say, puts D.C. Everest in 3rd and 16 position here. Brett, Freedom up 7-0 over Winneconne.
Interesting game.
And Mayville now up 21-0 over Brookfield Academy.
Well, to talk about Mayville, one of Mayville's favorite sons was your guest on the R&B 101 podcast, Lucky Wirtz, the former Kimberly boys basketball coach. Is Savoke, again, nothing downfield. He's got to get, whoa! That's number 44, Ethan Doucette, the junior linebacker, coming in. I think Savoke's got to get rid of those. I know he wants to make something happen, but he's taking some shots there.
You admire his toughness, but my goodness, you can't take too many of those kind of hits.
Ooh, big hit, and 4th and forever now as Everest out to punt the ball.
4th and 26.
So back-to-back sacks by McGivern and Doucette. And stymies what was looking to be a kind of a promising drive. Line drive, punt. Wilds is going to try to take it. Hesitates. Far sideline, cutting back. And finally brought down near the 40-yard line. Yeah, Everest. So they start out 1-2, then a couple wins. Week 4 against Appleton West, 35-10. Week 5, a nice win over Marshfield, 17-7. And then back-to-back losses again against 2 of the better teams in the VFA. Stevens Point, Week 6. Evergreens losing to the Panthers, 28-20. And then Week 7 against Wisconsin Rapids. That was a 37-26 setback. Come back with a nice win over Hortonville in Week 8, 30-15. And then the forfeit victory against Wausau West last week. And Ricardo, I was going to kind of ask you, and I'll ask you after this next play, about D.C. Everest having a Week 9 bye as Oberman gets it and trucking downfield on his feet, off to the races, and finally, nope, not yet, still on his feet, down near the 15, or 25, I should say. How about that for a run? They'll spot it at the 26.
Yeah, 36-yard run for Oberman.
But having a Week 9 forfeit, that's tough, right? I mean, you want to have some. You don't want to have the break at that point of the season.
That happened to Appleton North one year, I believe.
That's not exactly what you're hoping for. Is Oberman looking to get around the edge, finally pushed out of bounds? Yeah, so I guess you could look at it one of two ways. Either it kind of stymies the momentum that we have with that victory over Hortonville in Week 8, or you come into this first-round playoff game feeling fresh. But I'm guessing if you're Tim Strelo, you want to be playing all 9 weeks and carrying some sort of momentum into postseason play. Pendleton downfield looking for Polakowski, knocked away.
Nice play defensively.
Yeah, I think that was number 10, Triton Schmidt, doing a good job in coverage to knock it away from Polakowski. Good coverage by the senior defensive back. Got Polakowski, who's 6'3", Schmidt going at 6 feet in the program. 3rd down and 6 for Kimberly.
Hey, we have an interesting Division I score here, Brett. Conemaugh and Muskego. Muskego up 14-0 over Conemaugh. They gave Muskego their only loss this year.
Yeah, snap.
Now Conemaugh, their starting quarterback, out with an injury.
Oh boy, I think Muskego has Blake Berry now looking for some space. Gets the first down and more on his feet. Spins his way to the 10-yard line.
It's a first down run for Berry.
I'm guessing Muskego had this game once the pairings came out and said, okay, we're going to take out a little frustration on Oconomowoc. Oconomowoc snapping what was Muskego's 41-game win streak, I want to say. Wasn't that the longest active streak at the time?
It certainly was.
And I think the folks around here, as the ball spotted at the 11, know a thing or two about long winning streaks. Of course, Kimberly with the state record 70-game win streak that ended back in, 2018. Finally, Barry looking for his, he's into the end zone from 11 yards out. Good job by that offensive line, creating some seams for Barry, and he does the rest, zigging and zagging his way into the end zone for his first score of the night. And Zeebel's PAT sails through with 5:58 to go here in the second quarter. We look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard. Papermakers on top, 20-0 after that 11-yard touchdown run by Blake Berry. 2 touchdown runs on the night for the Papermakers. 17-yarder by Colin Oberman in the first quarter. We saw the 11-yarder just now by Blake Berry. And then, of course, the defense getting in on the fun as well. Sean Barrett, the defensive lineman, scooping up a fumble and rumbling his way in 23 yards for a score as well. 20-0, Kimberly with the lead here in the second quarter. Just shows you how, especially when you're talking about a team as talented as Kimberly, Ricardo, you can't make mistakes, you can't have sacks, right? I mean, it was 13-0. D.C. Everest seemed to be on a little bit of a march, and then 2 big sacks.
Yep. Those are game changers.
And Everest has to punt the ball away, and just like that, Kimberly scores on the ensuing possession. 20-0 is the lead.
Notre Dame up 7-0. And then we have another update on the Xavier Berlin game. Xavier now up 10-7 over the Indians of Berlin.
Number 29, Dylan Neuendank, returning that kick. Nothing on the Kaukauna-Hartford game yet?
I'm looking. I might have to put Kaukauna in the Twitter search because not too many places call Kaukauna. I'm guessing.
You know who knows all about Kaukauna?
Who's that?
That would be our Clubhouse Live guest this past week.
Oh, that's right.
Right, that would have been Elton Jenkins. He was Alan Lazard's special guest. Yeah, that was Cotter falling down.
Slipped a little bit, too. Maybe a loss of 1 yard. So second down and 11 at the 27.
Fun Clubhouse Live show coming up this coming Monday night. That's our weekly Packer show. Unfortunately, Alan Lazard, our season-long co-host, cannot attend, and neither can any of his teammates. They're going to be busy practicing because the Packers have a short week with the Arizona Cardinals game coming up on Thursday. But Packers Hall of Famer Johnny Gray is our special guest. Love having Johnny on the show. And Bobinski now on the run, and brought down hard. That's number 41, Brady Falser, the senior linebacker, coming in fast. And Ricardo, these quarterbacks, there's nothing that's open where they can get rid of the ball.
No gain on that play, brings up 3rd and 11, 27. Hey, that Kaukauna-Hartford game not going good for the Ghost spread.
No.
They're down 14-0 in the second quarter. That's shocking to me.
Yeah.
I actually had Kaukauna making it, I think, to the state semifinals in my prediction.
Well, you're always a homer in your predictions.
I am a homer, yes, definitely. No.
I think you have all 7 divisions won by Gannett Schools or something, right? Yeah.
No.
3rd and 11. Bobinski, the lefty, looking downfield. Rainbows one and caught! What a catch! That's number 17, Preston Miller, the 6'3 junior. And that was against really good coverage, but using every inch of that 6'3" frame. And how about Bobinski rainbowing it to give his tall receiver a chance to go up there and snag it. Big reception Longest of the night for the Evergreens. Ball at the 35-yard line.
Right, it wasn't bad coverage.
No.
It was just an athletic play made by the receiver. 38-yard pass play.
Oh, was that needed for D.C. Everest? Handoff to Babish, looking for some space. Brought down, number 24, one of the first ones there for the Papermakers. Jack Stats, the junior defensive back. Stats.
Stats. We used to, back when I was in Amro in high school, we used to have a guy who kept stats for all the football, basketball teams. We called them Stats. Just Stats.
That's a good nickname.
Second down and 7 for D.C. Everest.
Cotter be a few yards shy. Looks like it's inside the 30. Ball will be at the 29-yard line. But yeah, Johnny Gray, he's a fun.
Love Johnny Gray.
Fun guest. So if you can, if you're in the Appleton area, stop by the Clubhouse Sports Pub and Grill inside the Paper Valley Hotel, downtown Appleton. Mondays at 6:30. It's a live show, free admission, first come, first seated. Giving away some great prizes, autographed items, bobbleheads from our sponsor, Bobbles Galore. Unison Credit Union, our sponsor of Clubhouse Live as well. Bobinski slinging it downfield and just overshot his intended target. I have to think this
It's gotta be
four down
yeah.
territory, down 20-0.
Wow, Blake Schruffnagel, one of the top running backs in the state. 7-yard touchdown run. Mayville up 28-0 over Brookfield Academy. So I get some more of these scores. I love giving the scores. So if you have one, send them to me at PC Ricardo on Twitter. Mukwonago 28-0 over Janesville Craig. That's the team to watch in D1 is Mukwonago.
Yeah, Mukwonago, Franklin, Muskego, Sun Prairie.
Hey, no score between Spash and Chippewa Falls, Brett.
Interesting. Watch out. Boy, Babinski had to get rid of it. Lot of pressure. That might have been number 93, McGivern again. He's had an active night.
Just
turnover and
sophomore.
downs. Yeah. And Kimberly will take over with a chance to add to its 20-0 lead. Now think about this, with 2:45 to go, a chance for Kimberly not only to put another score on the scoreboard, but the Papermakers, Ricardo, I believe, start the second half with the football as well. So maybe a chance for Kimberly to double up here to go into halftime and come out of halftime. Pendleton has it, and he fires right over to Polakowski. Good job by Polakowski just to make that defender miss.
Well, not just that, he came back to the ball.
Yes.
You know, and maybe if he sits and you see a lot of receivers do that, that might have gotten knocked away.
Good point, Ricardo. Yeah, you want your receivers to come towards that ball, and then he put a little spin move. Triton Schmidt, the first one there, couldn't bring down Polakowski, so that's a first down pitch and catch. Ball at the 40-yard line for Kimberly. Polakowski, a little push pass to Winnick, going around the far side, and he's off to the races, still on his feet, and finally out of bounds.
Again, I love those little passes.
So do quarterbacks. Ball at the Everest now 44-yard line.
16-yard play. Again, that Stevens Point area senior high score with Chippewa Falls, that's after one quarter.
Over at Gerke. We've streamed a few games at
I love
Gerke
Gerke
Field. Yeah, it's a nice setup there. You just like, I think Kimberly wants to take a timeout.
You know why? You know why I like going to Point?
You like because you like Bill's Pizza.
I love Bill's Pizza. They're not a sponsor, by the way.
They should be.
Should be.
I might be heading over to Stevens Point tomorrow. We'll see. Again, folks, please subscribe. Get your digital subscriptions. Sign up tonight if you don't mind. Great deal right now for the Post Crescent and 8 of our other USA Today Network Wisconsin sites. Actually, a great deal for all 10, but just a different deal. I'll explain that in a second. For the next 6 months, you get all the benefits included with a digital subscription for just $1. That includes, again, full access on your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices every day. The e-edition which is a digital replica of the print edition, is also included. Please help play a vital role in supporting local journalism that you and your community can trust. Learn more details. Sign up right now. postcrescent.com/subscribe. And the deal is a bit different for our Wausau Daily Herald readers and viewers. Again, it's $4.99 per month for unlimited digital access. Sign up for that offer right now at wausauDailyHerald.com/subscribe. Either way, very, very reasonable, and we appreciate your local support. Or your support, I should say, of local journalism, as Oberman making guys miss and finally brought down a little hard there. Oberman gets up.
Oberman did a great job. That had 2 attempts to be a loss, Brett. And Oberman was able to make a pretty decent gain out of that to the 38, 6-yard gain. Xavier with the 10-7 halftime lead over Berlin. Manitowoc right now is behind. Where are they behind here? Bayport 14-7.
That's an interesting game.
Yeah.
Manitowoc playing a better football under head coach Greg Enns, former Little Chute coach, just on the other side of the river from here.
2nd down and 4 for Pendleton and the Kimberly offense, up 20-0. And we have a whistle, and
that's going to be a delay.
It is a delay of game.
That's our second delay of game penalty of the night we've seen.
That marches it back to the 43, so a 2nd down and 9 for Kimberly. Yeah, that's rare. You don't see that usually with the Papermakers.
Coming off the timeout too, right? No, that was Oberman on the run
right
off the timeout, and then, yep. So I'm guessing Kimberly back to the line quickly. 2nd down and 9 now for the Papermakers, is Pendleton waiting for the snap. And he's looking to his left, slings it over to Polakowski, and that's a 1st down. Polakowski, Ricardo, he's committed to St. Leo University, right? He's going to play college basketball under Lance Randall, who led Oshkosh West to a pair of Division I state boys basketball titles in 06 and 07. St. Leo's is a Division II school in St. Leo, Florida. And I don't know, you see Colin Oberman's going to play baseball at Madison College.
Good for him. Just great athletes up and down this Kimberly roster. Playing multiple sports as well.
Downfield. Oh, what a catch by Winnick. 29-yard score. A fingertip grab.
I mean, Pendleton, what can you say? Nice pass. Well, I mean, this is where experience, these two guys know each other, him and Polakowski as well. I mean, they've been playing, running routes with each other for years now.
Well, that was a heck of a grab, though.
Absolutely.
Kind of bobbled it at the end, but stayed with it. Nice throw. Really put it only at a spot where Winnick could secure it. But excellent hands and concentration by Winnick. First passing touchdown of the night for Kimberly. And with 1:52 remaining here in the second quarter, we look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard. It's all Papermakers in this first round Division I playoff matchup. 27-0 over the Evergreens. 2 rushing touchdowns. That's actually the 4th different player who's scored for the Papermakers tonight. Oberman with the 17-yard run. Burant with the 23-yard fumble recovery and score. Blake Berry with an 11-yard run and the 29-yard pass from Caden Pendleton to Cam Winnick.
Just updated my Twitter. You can follow me again at PC Ricardo, Rosie at Metal Rosie, Brett at PC Brettsy. Try to see if I can add up Caden Pendleton's stats, and he's been having a phenomenal night. Look out. Pretty good run back here for D.C. Everest, taking it near the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Dylan Neuendank, number 29, on the return. Just a good night for Kimberly all around, right? I mean, when you got defense scoring and in multiple ways in attacking you offensively. As we said, the Kimberly balance this year has really been impressive offensively. So many weapons. First and 10 for the Evergreens at the 39-yard line. A minute 43 to go, and maybe a chance for D.C. Everest to get something going here going into the break. Evergreens with all 3 timeouts to go, and there goes Svolk. I thought maybe he was going to option it out, but Kimberly all over that play. Got a stoppage as the officials talking things over here. Stick with us, folks. We got a lot to get to here at halftime. Get you some more of those first-round playoff scores. Now the official winding the clock back up. Tell you what's coming up with us. A whole bunch of digital offerings. These are busy weeks, but fun weeks. I know Ricardo, he's going to be really busy coming up with some different sports as far as tournaments and playoffs. And, ooh, nice pass to Strelo. That's a first down in Kimberly territory. Ricardo's going to be all over the state. He's going to be going to Madison. He's going to be going to Wisconsin Rapids.
Yeah.
I know when you guys go to Rapids, you'll probably be going to Bill's.
Yes, definitely. That's one place we're going for sure.
Maybe if I'm there tomorrow, I can tell the good folks over there to
prepare for a bunch of beefy guys coming in
get
on
that
October 30th.
Get that upper level opened up for you guys. First and 10, ball at the 48-yard line. Is Volk, watch out. He got away from the pressure. There's a flag, though, and we're going to see what that's all about. Wondering if that's going to negate the completion here, as the officials now going to talk things over, and looks like Everest Ricardo's backing up. Illegal man downfield is the call. That's a tough play.
It is. Those are tough.
What do you do when your quarterback's kind of on the run, and that's tough for your offensive lineman to kind of sit in that area without moving around, right? Talk to Ken, the official, sometimes too. Maybe he is watching tonight. I don't know, but isn't that sort of sometimes a subjective call by the official? I mean, isn't there a little bit of gray area? Can you really tell?
What are you saying, Brett?
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that to me that's a very tough call to make or to determine, to see.
Brings up a first and 15 or second and 15 either way.
At times.
Yes.
Oh, these guys are doing a great job here tonight.
First and 14 up here.
I was not reading that there's a severe official shortage in the state of Wisconsin.
We, Stephanie Hauser, the WIAA executive director, she mentioned that to me way back in late August, that we were going to have some problems here.
So, yeah, down substantially.
Ken, the official might have to come out of retirement.
How do you get those numbers back up? That's a tough deal.
Pay better, because they got to take a lot of abuse.
Yeah. Svolk. Oh,
that's
knocked
a great
away.
play.
Yeah, that's Jackson Wiles doing a good job in coverage, the senior defensive back. Knocking it out of the hands of the intended target for the Evergreen. So, second down coming up.
Second down. Brett, by the way, updating Caden Pendleton's stats. He's 9 of 14 for 134 yards.
And a touchdown.
The
29-yarder.
Extremely well. Yeah. And he started off 0 for 2.
I'm just happy to see him back. Remember, week 7 here for the game against Fond du Lac, went out late. Looked like he's in a lot of pain, leg or ankle injury, foot injury. Couldn't tell exactly what the issue was, but glad to see him back in. There's a screen to.
That's a great call against that defensive call.
Yeah, but there's a flag. So what would we have here?
They had a blitzing linebacker and a screen called against that. Unfortunately for D.C. Everest.
Yeah, they moved, I think, and got a little bit jumpy seeing that blitz coming.
Perfect play call against that defense, though. But sometimes that's what happens. Mental mistakes, Brett, and those kind of things is, takes a possible first down play, and now you have, 2nd and 20? Or near 20 for D.C. Everest.
Definitely a problem for the Evergreens throughout the course of this first half, right? They're going in the wrong direction. Penalties, sacks. And when you're going against one of the top teams in the state of Wisconsin, a team that's undefeated, ranked 2nd in the state in Division I, you just cannot make mistakes. So 2nd down and 20 for D.C. Everest. Zvok, he's got time. Watch out again. He's on the run, and he's going to have to get rid of it. He's going to be brought down. Holding on way too long, and he took a shot.
Can't do that.
That's number 98, Michael Dolavut, the senior defensive lineman now. A lot of sacks for that defensive front, Ricardo, for the Papermakers.
And they're only rushing 3 guys. So, not sure if you're a quarterback, you don't want to hang on to that too much and just take those hits.
No, and that is how the first half comes to a close. So it's halftime here at Papermaker Stadium. Quick look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard shows the Papermakers leading the Evergreens. We'll talk more about tonight's game and what we have coming up digitally at USA Today Network Wisconsin after these 2 short messages. Welcome back to Papermaker Stadium. Once again, thank you to our playoff sponsor, Unison Credit Union. Unison proudly provides the people and businesses of Northeast Wisconsin with exceptional banking services and trusted financial guidance delivered by friendly experts. Also, thank you again to our apparel sponsor, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Contact them today, 920-731-0922, or send them an email at Cooney's, COONEYS 0922 at sbcglobal.net. And hey, Wisconsin, and everybody watching out there tonight, USA Today Sports Plus is the new sports app that puts the fans first. Get the latest scores, stats, and standings, and enjoy interactive experiences with our award-winning sports writers. Download USA Today Sports Plus from the Apple or Google Play stores today. USA Today Sports Plus, fan harder. 27-0 the lead for the Papermakers here in this WIAA Division I first-round playoff game against D.C. Everest. It's halftime here at Papermaker Stadium, and you can see the score on our Unison Credit Union scoreboard. Ricardo, I know you have a big update to share with everybody.
Yeah, and I think, again, anytime you have the matchups between the Valley Football Association and the FEA, you want to look at those scores. You know, how does one conference relate to the other? Neenah, Wausau West, the champions, right, tri-champs of the Valley Football Association. Neenah, a team that just squeaked in, last week, right? Neenah's leading Wausau West 19-0 in that game. Now, we must add context here. Wausau West has 4 turnovers. I believe 1 as they were going in for a score, and 2 that set up Neenah with short fields. So Wausau West not helping themselves. But still, Neenah doing a great job there of possibly putting themselves in position to get that upset.
Well, we said it in the open, right? This is the time of year where we do see strength of schedule. And
let me see if I can get some of these other scores. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff going on. Hartford leads Kaukauna now 14-6.
Hartford leads Kaukauna 14-6?
Yes.
Okay.
So that was Nate Trupp with a 13-yard touchdown run to get Kaukauna on the board. So Kaukauna hanging tough. They kind of took it on the chin there to start. See if I can get some other things. Notre Dame Academy up 17-0. Again, if you have any scores, I'm at PC Ricardo, Brett's at PC Brettsy, and Rosie's at Metal Rosie. Halftime, Denmark up 12-0 over Two Rivers. West De Pere leading Pulaski 14-7, Brett, at the half. Interesting. Actually, I'm sorry, it should be Notre Dame now leading Fox Valley Lutheran 17-7 at the half.
At last check, Ricardo, that Spash Chippewa Falls game, I got the Panthers leading the Cardinals 7-0 in the second quarter. So Spash up on top. Winner of this game plays the winner of that game in the second round.
Well, Brett, if you can, maybe if you have anything coming over your Twitter there, I can give some updates in terms of what we're doing with our shows, the high school shows that we got. And the one that's I know on everyone's mind is the Varsity Roundtable. We just had Kimberly girls volleyball players Ella Budenhagen, Emma Reese on the show this past Wednesday. I think the girls had a good time, Brett. They talked about their Fox Valley Association championship, including a win over Appleton North. We talked about that at length. Please check that out. If you go to postcrescent.com, go under the sports tab and varsity, you should see the link to that Varsity Roundtable show. Girls had a great time. They're great conversationalists, and we got to know them pretty well. And, they got a pretty I think they have a lot of expectations going into the postseason, including a possible rematch with Appleton North, the defending Division I girls volleyball champs, possibly on October 30th. That would be for a berth at the state tournament at the Rec Center, Brett.
But you'll be in Wisconsin Rapids that day.
I'll be a cross-country boy on that day. But, that's a big game possibly. We would love to see it. So check it out. The Varsity Roundtable every Wednesday, 7 o'clock. We hope to have maybe some football players on next week. I know that if Neenah captures the state championship in girls tennis, I will try to have possibly their doubles team that won the state title as well, perhaps represented on the show. Best place to find out, just go to postcrescent.com. You'll see an update there probably Tuesday or Wednesday or Monday or Tuesday who we're going to have on the show. And then also for Kimberly fans or anybody in the Fox Valley, we talked about folks from Waupun, maybe Laconia, Mayville interested in this. We had Lucky Wirtz as our second guest on the one-on-one series of the R&B show, Brett. Did you get a chance to listen to that?
I did. It was really good. Very interesting.
Love Lucky Wirtz. And I thought he gave us great answers to some of the questions that I had. He took it all the way back to the beginning when he was coaching at Laconia. 472 wins, Brett.
Was that what he – yeah, I remember.
472 or 476. I can't remember the exact number.
I thought he was talking about – he kind of looked at how close he was maybe to 500. Maybe he should have stuck around another year.
He was right there to 500. But, great guy. I got him off Rush Lake to come on in because he was duck hunting. In fact, when I sent him the text saying, hey, Coach, would you like to come in and please do the one-on-one? He's like, oh, I would love to. He goes, I'll call you back, whatever. Right now I'm on Rush Lake. He's duck hunting.
Yeah, so, he likes to duck hunt. I did not know that he was an avid outdoorsman.
So we talked to him for nearly an hour. Please check it out on iTunes, Stitcher, or Google Play, the R&B Show one-on-one series. The first one was Bruce Moriarty, Hall of Fame girls volleyball coach. Boy, we followed that again with Lucky Wirtz, Wisconsin Basketball Coaches Association Hall of Fame coach. And he's assistant coach now at Laconia under Tom King. Yeah. He can't stay away from the game.
And wasn't King his assistant
when
Lucky was at Laconia?
Yes,
so
exactly.
2 longtime coaches.
He just loves
buddies.
the coach, Brett. He can't stay away from the game.
No.
He's too excited about it. And I was telling him, man, we're going to miss the clapping and everything.
What?
The demonstrative way he coaches was always fun to watch.
His energy is. I hope I'm.
He's 59.
Yeah. Which isn't that? Which
No, it's not old at all.
Not that old by
He has
any
more
stretch.
energy than me on a
good
when I was
day.
21.
Yeah, I know. I look at that guy too. I always envious of those people that are that energetic. I wish I was wired that way.
Well, you are sitting here wearing shorts. I'm not exactly sure what to make of you.
Hey, listen,
you're cold now, aren't you?
I'm getting a little chilly, but
Yeah.
I'm going to battle through this. But the first time in our streaming careers that I've been able to go the first 10 weeks in shorts. As I said, I'm not going to let Mother Nature bring me down here. And maybe I can take it all the way to the state semifinals, wherever that may be.
Yeah, go ahead, Brett.
Well, those one-on-ones, Ricardo, I'm looking forward to those as you move on, and they're very interesting conversations. And there's a lot of good stuff in there. And kudos to you and Rosie for getting those out. That's a really good addition, I think, and a good idea.
Yeah, we're hoping to get some. I mean, I have a litany of guys. I have a list of guys, and girls and females, male and female. We're going to try to get. I know one that I would love to get on is Sarah Rohde, Notre Dame girls basketball coach on the show. I always find my conversations with her, pretty enlightening. So I'm hoping to get her on. But Bob Highland of Springs. We're trying to get the coaching aspect. Maybe a player who is comfortable talking, at length about things. I would love to have a player, but some other folks that we want to get on. Obviously, going to send feelers to Danny Jansen, Jordan McCabe, Tyrese Halliburton, any of these guys who have ties to the area that would happen to be in the area.
How about Brian Butch?
Brian Butch would love to have them on the show.
Steve Jones sometime with his book that has
He's a little
come
busy
out.
right now, though.
He was a little busy for the time being, yeah. But we'll. What would be kind of cool? I wish I could make this happen for you, but it would be impossible to get him into the studio. It would be Mickey Crow.
Wow, he'd have some stories to tell. Maybe that your relationship. Maybe that's one where you would substitute for me.
Well, I couldn't get him into the studio from Eau Claire. He lives in Eau Claire.
Oh, I see.
You would have to do that over the phone. One thing about Mickey, and the folks that don't know who Mickey Crow is, one of the all-time legendary high school basketball figures in the state of Wisconsin, still the second leading career scorer, 2,724 points, I believe. Played in the early to mid-'70s, so he scored all those points without a shot clock, or I should say a three-point line.
And a shot clock.
But, he lives in Eau Claire now, and it's just very difficult to get him to and from. So, but that'd be a very interesting conversation. By the way, Lucky, I was really surprised to hear that he wants a shot clock at the high school level.
He does, yes.
I was a little taken aback by that because we've talked about it. Once the high school game moved from 8-minute quarters to 18-minute halves, I feel like the game really flows well now, and I don't see a lot of stalling anymore. It's easier to stall at the quarters, because you can run out the quarters versus trying to run out all, 7 minutes of a half or whatever. So I used to be a very strong advocate that we needed a shot clock here. I don't feel that anyway. But how am I going to argue with a guy who's a Hall of Famer like Lucky Wirtz?
I think it's a lot of the logistics part of it. It's like having someone who's good enough to run that shot clock. You got to have someone that's on the ball. It's an added expense. Would you love to have it, all things equal? Sure, but, is it necessary? I don't believe it is.
I don't know if it is right now, yeah.
Brett, here's a score. Luxembourg Casco up over Ashwaubenon, 20-14. That's a Division III opening round game. And, they're a 1 seed, Brett.
Yeah, you never know. That's Ashwaubenon kind of – they sort of turned it up there, I thought, down the stretch as well over there in the FRCC North, coached by Brian Richkowski. Hey, our guy Dan Powers, our photojournalist, he's covering the Kohler-Sheboygan Falls game. Kohler all over Falls at half, 38-zip for the Blue Bombers.
Xavier now up 13-7 over Berlin in the third quarter.
I saw this score, too. It was interesting. Let's see if I can get an update maybe of this score.
Spash is up 7-6 over Chippewa Falls. Did you say that?
No, I was going to the Amherst-Clintonville game. Amherst up 22-zip at halftime now. And then I also saw the Freedom-Winneconne game. I know Freedom was having its way. 20-7, the Irish leading the Wolves at halftime there. So interesting stuff. Yeah, next Friday night we will be somewhere for a level 2 game. It all depends on what happens tonight, of course. But We will be streaming a second-round playoff matchup next Friday. I will announce the game soon on my Twitter account, so please give me a follow at PCBrettC. And again, remember, folks, you can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. And again, Monday nights throughout the Packers season, stop by the Clubhouse Sports Pub and Grill inside the Paper Valley Hotel downtown Appleton. It's our weekly Packers show called Clubhouse Live. This season's co-host is Packers wide receiver Alan Lazard. He's brought a bunch of great teammate guests on so far. We just had the big guy, Elton Jenkins.
Boy, is he talented. I mean,
he should be a Pro Bowler, or All-Pro, I should say.
I feel he can be a Pro Bowl level anything, right? Center, guard, offensive tackle.
He can play anywhere and play at a high level.
What can you say? That's an embarrassment. We can have a player of that talent on your line.
Yeah, I think he's on the short list of top offensive linemen in the NFL. But you can see the graphic there Rosie put up there.
Hey, that's me in the middle, I think, right?
That's you in the middle. It's me on the left and Alan Lazard on the right. But Johnny Gray, Packers legend and Packers Hall of Famer, he's going to be on the show this Monday. Alan can't be there because of the short week. When there's a short week, the practice schedule is altered, so their Mondays go a lot longer as they get ready because they got to be ready to go for a big Thursday night game next week against the Cardinals. So Alan will be back with us for our November 1st show and throughout the rest of the season on Monday nights. But stop by anyway. Johnny Gray, high energy and a great storyteller. The guy is phenomenal and is just a lot of fun, always in a good mood, and I can't wait to hang out. It's been a few years. Johnny hasn't been on the show since 2018, so again, stop by the Clubhouse downtown Appleton.
Good stories he has.
6:30. It's first come, first seated. Admission is free. We'll give away some autographed photos, some bobblehead prizes, a lot of good stuff. But if you can't make it to a show, you can watch it live online on a multitude of platforms and sites, postcrescent.com, WausauDailyHerald.com, GreenBayPressGazette.com, any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites and Facebook pages, including ClubhouseLive.com and Facebook.com/ClubhouseLive and Facebook.com/Packers News. Also our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel. So, Ricardo, if you Google Clubhouse Live, you'll follow it. You'll find it very easily. There's a lot of different ways that we let folks watch the big show. So very proud of that. It's an award-winning show. And our Varsity Game of the Week live streams also award-winning productions as well. Really proud of our stream team and all the good work we continue to do.
Can I say I'm an award-winning columnist?
Yeah.
Two-time.
Can I say I'm also a two-time?
You are a columnist too?
I won.
Wow, that's fantastic. Look at that. We have four-time winning columnists here.
I won back to back.
Back.
Then I think I went 3, 2, and 2. That was my 5-year stretch.
I don't count anything after except first.
When I was exclusively a writer, then I switched to all this digital stuff, and
right.
I got to get back to some more writing. But it's just
we'd love to have you.
So busy though. It's just this is a hugely busy time of year.
Hey, Brett. So Berlin is now up 14-13 over Xavier.
Okay.
That would have been a good game to watch. That's over there in Berlin.
Nice little setup. That's a nice field.
Let me tell you, Berlin.
Nice school.
Berlin has
nice
that
town.
Little. They have like a little place to go eat. I forgot what the name of it was. It's like a little drive-in place. What do you call it? Kind of like Leon's and Oshkosh and Dick's and Kaukauna. You know what I mean? It's like one of those kind of places. Oh boy, I'm trying to remember what it was. But great little place if you're ever in Berlin. Why are we talking about Berlin right now? We got to talk about Kimberly and
your thoughts on the first half
and D.C. Everest. First off, Kimberly, I think it's played a pretty solid half. Defensive plays have been really nice for Kimberly in terms of big plays, forcing fumbles, getting pressure, and really D.C. Everest quarterback's taking a lot of hits. That's too many.
Holding on the ball. I know they're trying to make a play, but sometimes you got to live for another play, right?
Well,
and these sacks are really just drive killers.
Yeah, and again, let's look at Pendleton's numbers. Again, Caden Pendleton, good to see him back out there. Had that foot injury a few weeks ago, about a month ago, but he's back out there playing. He's 9 of 14 for 134 yards. Very efficient. That pass for the touchdown, nice pass. I mean, you can see the talent level that he has and the trust that he has with his receivers. And then Oberman, 8 carries, 86 yards. So Kimberly can really kill you through the air, through the ground. The defense creates pressure. They're a pretty complete team, Brett. And, again, this is why I give them the first-place vote. I know everyone loves Franklin right now. But to me, I think Kimberly's on the top. Muskego took that loss. They're not from the top spot. Right now, I think Kimberly's the team. But Appleton North is lurking right there, too. I had that in my write-up. You can check that also on postcrescent.com, Brett.
You look at some of the projections and maybe how the playoffs are going to shake out. A lot of folks are kind of looking at that Kimberly-Appleton North potential state quarterfinal, which would then feed into maybe a state semifinal showdown against Franklin, the top-ranked team in the state. So we'll see. That's a few weeks down the line. We still have a half of football here.
We can speculate. That's what we do.
Well, we can. We can also speculate that maybe D.C. Everest plays a fantastic second half, gets themselves back into this one. But, boy, look at Oberman still on his feet.
And he's returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns this year, Brett.
Yeah. And such a good performer. And you look at the FVA, and I guess I can start reading some of the accolades. You look at, for Kimberly, first-team offense, Ben Youngworth, a junior offensive lineman, and then Zach Bischel, I think, senior offensive lineman. Isaac Deckent, the junior fullback. Owen Polakowski, the senior wide receiver. Cam Winnick, the senior wide receiver. Colin Oberman, also at running back, the senior. And then Caden Pendleton, that's your first-team offense. Polakowski is the co-offensive receiver of the year. And Steve Jones, the coach of the year. So a lot of Kimberly representation on that all-FVA first team. Looking at the defense, Sean Barant for Kimberly, Ethan Doucette, Jackson Wilds, Jack Stotts, and Colin Oberman also makes it, Ricardo, as a return specialist. So that's your all-FVA first team selections as far as the Papermakers go. I'll go through the VFA and recognize those first teamers for DC Everest here when the Evergreens are on the field offensively.
Second down and 8. Short gain for Oberman on that first carry for the Papermakers. Ball's right at the 40-yard line.
There's your little push pass to Oberman. And good pursuit. Nice job by that defender for the Evergreens. That's number 27, Alec Schuster, 6'1" senior defensive back. 172 pounds is Schuster, getting in a low to trip up Oberman. That sets up a third down.
Third down and 6.
Be a big boost for the Evergreens defense just to get off the field right away.
This is what you need right out of the half.
First 3 rounds of the playoffs, right? The top-seeded team gets to host, and then state quarterfinal or state semifinals, that's when it's neutral sites. Pendleton, swings it. Nice job by Barry. Slips.
He did.
He was trying to put a move on number 20, Emmett Peterson. Peterson gets the stop, and Kimberly will have to punt, so 3 and out.
Well, here at DC Everest, the 3 and out is exactly what you needed to start this half. Now let's see if the offense can build off that momentum. Down 27-0. Again, the clock's ticking, 9:51 and counting in the third quarter. That will soon become the enemy of DC Everest as we have a whistle.
And a procedure call, against the Papermakers. Looking at the Papermakers, you know, I've said it all. The other 2 live streams we've done here with Kimberly, but one of my favorite stats now, the Papermakers, over their past 113 games, everybody, 109-4. That's their record. That dates back to the 2013 season. That's a .965 winning percentage. 109-4. Ooh, nice hop.
Ooh.
And get away from that, Don't want to take any chances inside
Trail,
the 15.
unfortunately, had to just let that bounce.
Of course, Kimberly had a string of 6 straight state championship game appearances from 2013 through 2018 and won 5 straight titles from 2013 through 17, the first in Division II, of course, and then the next 4 in Division I. We mentioned it earlier, that stretch included a state record 70-game winning streak.
Mayville up now 35-7 over Brookfield Academy, so the Cardinals really impressive in their opening round game. They had to go on the road for that one, I believe. 5 seed on a 4.
Babinski now, the lefty, firing it, and too high. Number 11, Eli Irwin, the intended receiver. How about that record, though, Ricardo? 109-4. That's nuts.
And they're doing it in Division I for the
and
most part.
in this league.
Yes. So, yeah, I mean,
kind of.
Obviously the 70-game win streak's in there.
Well, yeah.
But it's still, that's just phenomenal. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Kimberly's enrollment, they were a Division II team, so they're a low level in terms of enrollment Division I team. They don't have the 2,200 kids like Sun Prairie or whatever.
Babinski drops back, fires
deep
shot, and almost the catch. Did you see Wild just kind of he was running with Nick Cotter, and he was with him but did a good job. Didn't want to turn his back for fear of maybe letting some separation happen, but just getting his hands in the air to knock it away.
And I thought Cotter, and I thought I heard a little rumbling here in the crowd, like thinking that maybe they should have been offensive pass interference, because there was definitely some arm straightening by Cotter on that play, Brett. But yeah, 3rd and 10 from the 19 for D.C. Everest.
I hope that space heater next by Rosie. It smells. I'm starting to smell like a little burning over there. I hope Rosie, are you okay?
Your pants aren't on fire, are they, Rosie? Yeah, he knocked.
He's still there.
Now I'm lamenting not bringing the space heater, Brett. I think you would have appreciated that you there with your short pants.
He's got a space heater over by his side. We're fine.
I'll bring mine. I have one.
Evergreens take a timeout. Gives me a chance, Ricardo, to kind of go over the Everest players who are first-team Valley Football Association. First on offense, Cole Stevens, the junior offensive lineman. Ty Strelo, the senior wide receiver. Those are the 2 Evergreens on the all-VFA first team. Defensively, you've got Mitch Danielski, a senior defensive lineman. Max Buchholz, the senior outside linebacker. Ty Strelo, again, the senior defensive back. Strelo gets first team mention as a punter for Everest, and the return specialist also on there, Triton Schmidt. Offensive player of the year for the VFA, Riley Warzinski, the Stevens Point quarterback. Defensive player of the year, Davian Gillespie of Wausau West. Coach of the year, Jason Foster, also of Wausau West. But you mentioned the Warriors down against Neenah right now in a first-round game.
Look out.
Yep. Bobinski, look at that speed, but too many red shirts, I think. Whoa, he dives, and let's see, he might have gotten it.
I think he did get it, actually. I think he made it to the 25.
Oh, he did. The way that the Kimberly defense was pursuing, I thought he was going to be short a couple yards, but little extra boost at the end and just dove for the first down. Good job by the quarterback there. So first down for the Evergreens, ball at the 25-yard line. Nobody from Kimberly on the, as far as lineman, linebacker, defensive back, or co-defensive player of the year on the Fox Valley Association. Kind of surprising with how good the Kimberly defense has been. Wes King of Appleton North was the defensive lineman of the year. Will Campbell, linebacker of the year from Kaukauna.
And what of our Elite 11?
Wes King also, Ricardo, the co-defensive player of the year from Appleton North, along with Campbell of Kaukauna. So King and Campbell really cleaning up on the individual awards. And then Tate Derrico of Appleton East, the defensive back of the year. Good throw to Strelo. And there's your receiver kind of coming back on the ball again. Babinski put the ball kind of at a spot where he knew it wouldn't get into trouble, and Strelo went and picked up a first down. It was a good throw.
Yeah, 10 yards. So we're looking at this. At this score here, I think it's Kohler, Sheboygan Lutheran. They're up 52-0, and their quarterback has set, we believe, the state record for most touchdown passes in a career. I'll have to double check that with Tom Dombeck, our colleague.
How about that? That's a high-powered offense at Kohler, knocked away.
That's impressive to me. It's not impressive that he's throwing touchdowns when they're up 52-0. I may have to ask Dombeck about that, but either way, a heck of a career accomplishment for Kohler, Sheboygan Lutheran Catholic.
Ty Lawton of the Papermakers, number 20, knocking that attempted pass, intended receiver there for the Evergreens. Number 17, Preston Miller, second down for the Evergreens coming up.
Didn't we just have a story about Wittenberg-Burnhamwood doing that? Oh, boy.
There, I think that's a column idea for you, Ricardo.
And it's really the smaller schools that have done that, I noticed.
Bobinski.
Dangerous pass, but pulled down.
Did Strelo catch it? No, incomplete.
Oh,
almost.
Like a good catch. So, update on that Neenah game, Brett. Neenah is now up 19-7. So Wausau West has gotten on the board. Mayville, again, I told you Mayville 35-9. The aforementioned Wittenberg-Burnhamwood 42-0 over Tomahawk.
Oh boy, they throwing the ball again.
It's a good story by our guy up there, Zach Bellman, on that controversial record.
Yeah, he's doing a good job over there, isn't he?
Yeah, Freedom up 20-7 over Winona County at the half, Brett.
Bobinski, watch out, and brought down hard.
Brandt.
Boy, look at that, number 92, Sean Brandt, and I think that was number 98 also there, Michael Dolavut. And fourth down for the Evergreens. Have to punt it away. Boy, how many sacks tonight for this Kimberly defense. And that's those defensive linemen, too.
Mm-hmm. So loss of 4 yards as Kimberly will now get the ball back. I mean, they didn't do much on that first series. So we'll see if
it's a fake, and they got it.
They did.
Beautifully executed. That's Strelo throwing to number 22, Max Buchholz, and there's a little bit of a spark. You can see the
that's
Evergreens.
What they needed.
Yeah, the sideline jumping around, some energy, the fans behind them getting into it. Nice play, nice design, and good throw by Strelo to find Buchholz.
Yeah, 24-yard pass play on the fake punt.
Ricardo Buchholz wide open on that, too, and Strelo just delivered it right where it had to be.
It's tough. As a special teams, you don't really practice defending fakes, because you never know how teams set their fakes up, right? So good conversion by Strelo, though. Showed a nice arm. Kid can do a lot for DC Everest. First down and 10.
Yeah, and Babish now with the ball, and Svok back at quarterback.
Second down and 8, gain of 2 yards for Babish.
There's Strelo looking to get around.
That looks like a Babish, I felt, was kind of holding there a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not sure if that's the flag. Right on the edge, but we'll see what the call is by the official. And it's holding on DC Everest.
You saw it up here, didn't you?
I saw it up here. I saw Babish. I mean, when you're trailing a guy and you see his shoulder go backwards, that's not a normal running gait.
DC Everest is making its 29th WIAA postseason appearance, while Kimberly has earned its 19th playoff bid. Evergreens, Ricardo, 41-22 all time in postseason play with those 5 Division I state titles. Kimberly, 57-11 in postseason play with 7 state titles.
Lightning leading 19-0 in their game over Hudson, Brett.
Okay.
Appleton North, 19-0 over Hudson, just in case anybody's from Lake Country Lutheran. They're also the Lightning.
Yeah. Smoke, no, watch out. Got out of trouble there, and I think he's off to the races now. No. Boy, Sean Barrett there again bringing down Svok. That Kimberly front, Ricardo, those defensive linemen so active tonight, and that Evergreen's offensive line can only do so much before it's just going to break down. And I guess, again, credit the defensive backfield of Kimberly. There's just nowhere for these quarterbacks to throw to.
Notre Dame now up 30-7 over FEL.
Wow. Well, we saw FEL last week.
They were really struggling.
They were struggling. I was kind of curious about that Menasha-Shawano game. I was very impressed with Shawano. As Spoke now looking again, holding on to the football. Nothing open downfield. Finally lofts it and caught.
It's caught, and it's near a first down.
I think he might have it. Let's see. That's number 11 on the catch, Eli Irwin. And it is.
Wow. You know, Brett, that wasn't a pretty pass. Let me tell you, it got there, though.
It got the job done. Matters. And, again, that's a tough. He's kind of thrown against the grain, going back towards the middle of the field. A little bit of a loft pass, but Irwin was there, found a spot in that defense. Keeps this drive going and keeps the chains moving.
See if I can find that Shawano game.
We were very impressed with Shawano. We saw Shawano and FEL last week, Week 9 game in the Bay Conference. As Smoke now on the run again. Watch out. Fumbles. And scooped up. Wow, boy. Here we go. Another defensive lineman, Ricardo. That's Dolavut again. That's the second time the quarterback has been strip sacked, and Kimberly defensive lineman recovering the loose ball. I thought maybe we were going to get 2 defensive linemen in to the end zone tonight. So Kimberly football at the D.C. Everest 46-yard line. And again, nowhere for these quarterbacks to throw the ball. They're trying to make something happen, but way too active up front is that Kimberly defensive line. They are just wreaking havoc. And Pendleton going deep down. What a catch by Polakowski. And what a throw by Pendleton. Deep ball down the far sideline, over the shoulder grab by Polakowski. And look at this, ball at the 10.
Yeah, you could see that play developing right away. Nice pump fake by Pendleton. And that's a route that they've ran dozens of times. We've seen that all the time, Brett, in games. And Pendleton able just to really put a beautiful arc on that. Polakowski, again, sometimes those over-shoulder catches, they're tough.
They're very tough. And ball on the spot, beautiful catch, and now first and goal for the Papermakers at the 10. Blake Berry, little counter move, and Berry is in from 10 yards out. And now decision time, Ricardo. If you're Steve Jones, I think you have to go for 2 to get this clock running. Second touchdown run of the night for Blake Berry. He had an 11-yarder in the second quarter. And no, they're going to kick the PAT. 33-0, Kimberly on top, so Zeeble out for the PAT. And nope, they're going to go a little fake here. Myron, the holder, throws and incomplete. So a little trickery for the Papermakers. So the 2-point try fails. And as we look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard with 3:35 remaining in this third quarter, Papermakers on top 33-0 over the Evergreens in this Division I first round playoff game. Good time to try, right? Maybe practice a 2-point fake. You know, you look at just the legendary. These are 2 legendary high school football programs. When you talk about state history, Wisconsin, I should say Kimberly, 7 WIAA state championship victories. That's tied for the second most in Wisconsin prep history. DC Everest, 5 state titles. That's tied for the 4th most in state history. Kimberly winning Division II titles in 07, 08, and 2013, and then Division I titles in 14, 15, 16, and 17. DC Everest, Division I state titles in 1981, 83, 89, 98, and 03. Kimberly has appeared in 9 state championship games overall. D.C. Everest, 6 title games. So combined, these two programs, 15 state championship game appearances. Kimberly Papermakers, D.C. Everest Evergreens.
Update on that Berlin-Xavier game. Berlin now up 21-13 over Xavier. That is at the start of the, fourth quarter.
You okay there?
Oh, yeah.
He's drinking water, folks.
I am drinking water. It's caffeinated water, apparently. Carbonated, I should say.
You look at those 7 state championships for Kimberly. Every season, the Papermakers finished 14-0. The first 2 titles by Steve Jorgensen, a legendary coach in his own right, and then the last 5 by Steve Jones, of course. Is Bobinski now going downfield in double coverage. And I think he caught it. What a catch in double coverage. That's number 17, Preston Miller, the junior wide receiver. What a throw. How did he get that pass to drop in with 2 defenders on him?
I think that was just a great play by the receiver, Miller.
Wow.
6'3", 170-pound junior.
Ball at the 15-yard line of Kimberly. So biggest play of the night for this Evergreens offense.
46 yards.
Mm.
So we'll see if this 4 down. This you got to go if you're.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're DC Everest and Brett, that last drive that ended with the fumble.
How many turnovers?
That was a 13-play series that ended with the turnover.
Babish looking for something, not much there. I don't think how many turnovers, at least 2 now for DC Everest, but maybe more, right?
I have to look here.
Everest state titles 81, they finished 11-1, then 83, 13-0, 89 and 11 in one season, 98 and 03, 14-0 both times, and of course, Wayne Steffenhagen, the legendary Wayne Steffenhagen. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Led Everest to all 5 of those state championships.
I have 2 turnovers for
2
DC
turnovers,
Everest,
okay.
yeah. Both on fumbles.
Bobinski gonna fire across and intercepted. Wild, he might go all the way down the sideline. Can anybody catch him? And he's gonna go. Pick 6 for Jackson Wild. They're gonna call it
88 yards.
88-yard interception return for Jackson Wild, the second defensive touchdown of the night.
That's just a tremendous secondary play, Brett. Wilds, at first you got to look that ball in there. Obviously with DC Everest they're trying to score. You know it's going to be a pass. Wild, and then also to keep his balance as he's returning that ball, someone was able to get a hand on him, Brett. I'm not sure if that was the quarterback, Bobinski, but nice play by Wiles, and you got to love it when you're a defender getting a score. You get 2 of them, one by a big old lineman and then the fleet-footed defensive back.
Number 43 on for the PAT, Hunter Berry. And with that pick 6 and the PATs, we look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard, 40-0 now. Kimberly on top of the Evergreens. And Ricardo running clock the rest of the way. And how about Wilds, your all-FEA first-team quarterback, reading that. And good hands. And then how about Wilds showing the speed down the near sideline. Had to beat really one guy. And like you said, Ricardo, keeping his balance, and then it was over from there. So 2 defensive touchdowns tonight. 88-yard interception return by Jackson Wilds. And then the 23-yard fumble return for a score by number 92, Sean Barrett. If you're Steve Jones, the head coach of Kimberly, you love seeing your defense putting a couple touchdowns on the board. Wow.
Taking up the makers, number 43, Hunter Berry.
short kick for the Evergreens far sideline. That's number 24, Ethan Hansen. And got to keep that clock running now with a 40-point lead, 40-0 over the Evergreens. Kimberly well on its way to moving on to the second round. Again, the winner of this one takes on either Stevens Point or Chippewa Falls. And
Wrightstown is up 34-20 over Racine St. Cat's, by the way.
That was an interesting first-round matchup. Didn't those two schools meet in state basketball? I think they did on the boys' side.
I think they did.
Yeah.
Brad, you have a good memory.
Thank you. And we get somebody jumping. Now we got a procedure call against the Evergreens. So I guess at this point now, 40-0. I think the outcome pretty much determined here. If you're DC Everest, you're just trying to
get some kids some playing experience or seniors to close it out.
Maybe get some guys ready for next season, get on the field here a little bit. But that's why Kimberly's thought of it as one of the state juggernauts, right? They just come at you and they come at you and they come at you. And as you said earlier, such a complete team on offense. They've got the offensive line. They've got receivers. They got the quarterback. They got the running backs. As Svoke spins his way past the 45. But then you see just how active and athletic and strong that defense is as well, with 2 scores for a touchdown. And I have to imagine, I know you'll be going down to talk to Steve Jones after this one. And he's going to be a happy guy, I'm sure.
Well, this is what you want to be doing at this time of year, and I know that's something that he always prides his team on, is always, 1% better every day. And that's going to be a penalty on DC Everest.
There's no doubt. When we saw Kimberly, we've seen them now 3 times. Weeks 4, week 7, and now first round here of the playoffs. From week 4 to week 7, it was noticeable. Now from week 7 to the first round of the playoffs, it's even more noticeable how much better this team is getting. They're scary. And it's going to be very interesting to see as they continue on.
That's the end of the third quarter, Brett.
Yeah, if this trend continues for this team. We'll talk a little bit more about this one when we come back after this short message. Welcome back to Papermaker Stadium. Fourth quarter underway. Second down and 9 for the Evergreens. But just to finish that thought, I mean, this Kimberly team is, there's a lot of good teams in Division I. As Svoke brought down hard, and I think there's another fumble, and Papermakers have it.
Oh, boy.
And a third turnover, a third fumble. And the Papermakers in business with running clock. But a lot of good teams. We've talked about Franklin, Sun Prairie, Muskego, Mukwonago, Appleton North, Kimberly. This team is very complete. Now, I haven't seen the rest of the group down in the Madison area or the Milwaukee area. We've seen Appleton North. They're really good too. But these guys are just getting better and better, and they're playing right now their highest level of football without a doubt.
Oh, it's a little bit of a fumble. And I think that's
back to the Evergreens.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and some different guys in. I saw Seth Meyer in at quarterback now, so getting some playing time for.
So back-to-back fumbles.
Yeah. Some of the reserves out there, maybe a little miscommunication on the handoff, or I couldn't tell if it was a bad exchange or just it was knocked away from the running back's hands. But I mean, you have to agree that this is this is a team on the rise, and they're just getting better and better. And they were already pretty darn good, but from even week 7, a few weeks ago, this is a team they got speed, they got athletes.
It's par for the course, though. This is what we've seen from the Papermakers every year, and they're, they make the long postseason runs, Brett, and that gets even more experience to their players.
Yeah, right. More practice time. Yeah, it's like that snowball, right? Every year they're making these deep postseason runs, like you said, and getting guys in and just getting, 4 or 5 extra weeks of practice, and it's that half a season.
Second and 7 for the Evergreens.
Hey, look at it. If they make it to the title game, that's more than half a season. That's 5 additional weeks, 5 games. Success breeds success. First down run, and that was Babish. But, Brett, that's actually something that Lucky Wirtz brought up to us. 11-yard run by Babish. Is that football programs really turn around schools. He might have brought that up off, the podcast or whatever before. Not sure if he mentioned it during the podcast, but he was talking about how important football is in terms of revitalizing an athletic department overall at the high school level. And I think it really did start here for Kimberly. It seemed like all their sports got really good right after. Well, obviously Dean Matchey had a lot to do with that coming in, and Steve Jorgensen. But you see how they all feed off each other. All the sports are kind of intertwined.
And they play multiple sports, too.
Yeah, and it's not just the male athletes. It's the female athletes. I just saw a tweet that was sent out with a picture of the 4 classes of Kimberly girls that are in the CrossFit program. And was that even a thing 20 years ago with female athletes?
Oh, I don't.
It's amazing. It's amazing that they take this. Kimberly is nothing in the water. It's none of that kind of stuff. I know we talked about that with Ella Budenhagen and Emma Reese, the outstanding volleyball players for Kimberly. It's a culture. And they really do just value that kind of play. Be your very best, improve 1% every day, all those kind of things. And we say that because a lot of teams, a lot of programs, a lot of cities hate on Kimberly because of the success they have in everything.
I think they're a humble bunch here.
They are a humble bunch. That's been passed down from the top.
I've been very impressed with the kids, to the coaches, to the administration. It's been very.
That's picked off.
It is picked off. Very humble with the amount of success. He's in bounds.
Aiden Knights.
Yeah, he's on the move, and
what a play by Aiden Knights. Hey, check this out.
There's a flag though on the far side.
Knights is a junior. That can't be interference. Because he was saying it's face mask. But let me tell you, that Aiden Knights, he was covering Strelo, and he matched him step for step on that corner route and was able to pick off that pass. Heck of a play by Knights.
Got a block in the back after the interception. Hey, Ricardo, I just want to get this out there. We'd be remiss if live streaming a DC Everest game if we didn't mention the legendary Wayne Steffenhagen and his incredible career. Coach Steffenhagen passed away this past February at the age of 79, and the Evergreens and community, I should say, honored Steffenhagen during an event at the Everest football stadium in July. Steffenhagen coached the Evergreens for 33 seasons and finished with a 278-74 record. How about that? He led Everest to 18 conference championships, 14 straight playoff appearances, and 5 Division I state titles. Also a very successful track coach at Everest and was named State Football Coach of the Year in 1981, 83, and 89. Steffenhagen, a longtime FIA teacher, now get this, Ricardo, is enshrined in the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame, the Lake City, Minnesota Hall of Fame, the DC Everest Athletic Wall of Fame, and the National High School Athletic Coaches Association Hall of Fame.
That's a nice resume.
Yeah, the Evergreens home field is named after Wayne Steffenhagen. So what an incredible, legendary career.
We've covered several. Oh, I know I have at Steffenhagen Stadium.
Yeah.
I know because Appleton North has played some games. I think Kimberly might have played a game there. Interesting.
But synonymous with just excellence, Coach Steffenhagen and this DC Everest program. So what a career. Running clock here at Papermaker Stadium. Can you imagine just being thrilled to be with one Hall of Fame? He's in 4. Last check, Stevens Point, Spash up over Chippewa Falls, 7-6.
Berlin now up 33-13 over Xavier. So what a win for Berlin. They're moving on. Let me see if I get some other ones here.
3rd and 10 coming up for Kimberly. Fourth quarter as we wind down here and get ready for level 2. Oh, I'm sorry, second round, not level 2.
No, not level 2. Second round. I like the way we do that too. Level 2. What are the levels? Are we making a cake here? We making steps?
Yeah, cake sounds kind of good.
So Kokana, by the way, and this is a bit of a late score, or it might have been updated by now, but actually I'll check here, but they're only trailing 14-13 over Hartford.
Panthers now up 14-6 over Chippewa Falls with 9:13 to go in that game at Gerke Field. So Kimberly may be hosting Stevens Point. And, hey, that's going back home, although it'll be played here for Steve Jones, a Stevens Point native, head coach here at Kimberly High School. Again, folks, we'll be streaming a second-round playoff game next Friday. I'll announce what game that is. I got to kind of scour the brackets tonight. But to give me a follow, I'll mention it on my Twitter account, at PCBrettC. And one more plug for our digital subscription to the Post-Crescent and many of our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. 6 months for $1. Full access on your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices every day. So please subscribe. Wausau Daily Herald readers and viewers, that's $4.99 a month, $4.99 per month for unlimited digital access. So we'd love to have you support all of our local journalists and our journalism efforts and projects. That includes, of course, these live streams. So that $1 goes towards a whole lot of great content and coverage.
In the third quarter, Neenah 26, Wausau West 7. That's the upset right now.
Yeah, the Wausau West, the champions of the VFA. Mm-hmm. And Neenah kind of sneaking in, right, at the last second.
Last week they snuck in. But again, Neenah is kind of Jekyll and Hyde. We've seen them play really well, kind of stumble a little bit, then play really well, stumble a little bit. They must, good Neenah must have showed up, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, we did stream, I think that was week 3 where Oshkosh West beat Neenah 3-0. That was a rainy night over at Rocket Stadium.
Bayport big over Manitowoc, 56-14.
Watch out for the Pirates, too. A lot of folks are kind of sleeping on Bayport, but they're another powerhouse as well on that D1 side that could make a run for sure.
Wapaka, hey, they're leading in their game 29-8 over Portage.
Okay, the Comets.
So, yeah, the Comets, and they've kind of struggled ever since Korunkowitz left. So it's good to see them possibly getting that first round victory.
Again, folks, check out Ricardo's prep coverage. What you have prep column coming out on, when is that going to be again?
Well, let me give you the rundown here. I got the wrap-up of tonight's games on Sunday's paper. It'll be out tomorrow. They're online. Online. Yes, exactly, online. Let's not get into that. Yep. But and then coming up the following week, I'll have the rankings, all that kind of stuff. And then I do have Mike Sherry does a great job of doing the top games to watch within the G10. 15 games to watch. I'll also have the notes coming up on Friday, but also Saturday. I'll be in Madison doing state tennis, team tennis, because Neenah might win a championship there. Babish in the game still.
So you're heading down to Madison tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yes, late morning. And I'll be heading down.
Wisconsin Rapids for the cross country. Some really good cross country runners in all divisions. That should be a fun meet at the Ridges.
Oh, that's next week. Next Saturday.
Next week. Boy. Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. There's some really good teams and really good runners.
I'm just hoping it's not freezing weather. The weather has been.
I thought next weekend was supposed to be in the 50s.
Let's hope.
That's not too bad. I fully intend to stay in shorts.
If I bring the space heater, it won't count, Brett.
No, fully intend. It's never been done in the Stream Team's history to go 13 weeks in shorts. I live for small victories.
Looks like this one's wrapped up. Brett, 40-0 victory for Kimberly as the final seconds tick off.
Well, some thoughts, all right?
Yeah.
We kind of talked about it a little bit, but we can put a bow on it, and Kimberly just complete up and down.
And D.C. Everest shot themselves in the foot. I mean, what, 3
a lot
fumbles?
of mistakes.
They had the 2 that were returned for touchdowns in terms of the turnovers, one by a fumble and one off an interception. And, you know, their players showed flashes as there's a flag there.
Well, we can't end on a defensive penalty, right?
Yep.
Yeah, as I said, you can't make that many mistakes against a team like Kimberly. I mean, there was, 4 turnovers overall and all those sacks and pre-snap stuff, and they're going backwards a lot of times.
And as for Kimberly, just doing a fantastic job all game long. We've talked about it before. This team is ascending. Right now they're ascending still. I don't think they're plateauing. They're ascending. They're becoming better each game. As this game is over, I thought it couldn't end on a defensive.
Unless maybe I think the Everest might have just declined it.
Yeah. Final 40-0, and Kimberly's moving on. Brett, again, I predicted Kimberly to make it to the title game. The only, in my opinion, they'll meet Franklin in that semifinal, though I could also very well see Appleton North in that position as well. So
yeah, it could happen. Could be some huge games coming up for this Kimberly team, but first things first, they got through D.C. Everest number 1, and they'll play either Stevens Point or Chippewa Falls next Friday night here at Papermaker Stadium. As the levels continue, as the rounds continue, the competition gets tougher and tougher, so we'll see how this all plays out, but potentially could be some monumental matchups of major statewide, I would think, importance and attention as well.
Well, it's a final from Appleton North for those who are interested. North wins 28-0 over Hudson.
So good win for the Lightning.
Good win for Appleton North, and that's a strong team.
That's a long ride home for Hudson. They're right on the Wisconsin.
If I were them, I would have
border.
just stayed over. I mean, I would just stayed the night in Appleton, and instead of trying to go back and get 3:30 in the morning. You're back, or
you're
2
talking
in the morning?
probably a 4-hour bus ride over there, or at least. So yeah.
Well, BC.
Well, good
we'll
work,
see you
my
back
friend. Yep.
Next week, and thank you everyone for tuning in. And we'll see you back here next Friday.
Yeah, let me run down the scoring before I sign off. Kimberly, well, it was all Kimberly scoring, and the Papermakers got on the board first on a 17-yard run by Colin Oberman. That came in the first quarter, 4:47 to play in that opening quarter. That capped a 5-play, 66-yard drive, made it 7-0. And then the 23-yard fumble recovery for a score by number 92, Sean Barant, came with 2:33 to play in the first quarter. The kick was no good, and Kimberly led 13-0. Pair of touchdowns in the second quarter. The first an 11-yard touchdown run by Blake Berry with 5:58 to play made it 22-0. And then a 29-yard pass from Caden Pendleton to Cam Winnick with 1:52 to go in the quarter. Kimberly leading 27-0 at the break. 2 more touchdowns in the third quarter. A second touchdown run by Blake Berry, this one from 10 yards out with 3:35 to play. 2-point conversion try was no good, and Kimberly led 33-0. And then basically a minute later, with 2:01 to play in the third quarter, an 88-yard interception return for a touchdown by Jackson Wilds, the second defensive score of the night for Kimberly. That made it 40-0, running clock the rest of the way, and that's how this game ends as we look at our Unison Credit Union scoreboard. The Papermakers with the victory, 40-0 to advance to the second round of the Division I playoffs. With the victory, Kimberly improves to 10-0 on the season. Again, the Papermakers will either take on Stevens Point or Chippewa Falls next Friday right here in a WIAA Division I second round playoff game. Kickoff scheduled for 7 o'clock. D.C. Everest finishes its season 5-5. As for us, that's to be determined, but we will be live streaming a WIAA second round playoff matchup next Friday. Again, kickoff 7 p.m. I will announce the game soon on my Twitter account. Give me a follow at PC Brettsy. You can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week prep live streams link. Again, thank you to our playoff sponsor, Unison Credit Union. Unison proudly provides the people and businesses of Northeast Wisconsin with exceptional banking services and trusted financial guidance delivered by friendly experts. And another thank you to our apparel sponsor, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Contact them today at 920-731-0922 or send them an email at Cooney's, COONEYS 0922 at sbcglobal.net. So for Ricardo, for Rosie, and the crew with USA Today Network Wisconsin, I'm Brett Christopherson signing off from Papermaker Stadium here in Kimberly, Wisconsin. Once again, the final score tonight, Kimberly 40, D.C. Everest nothing. Thanks for watching, everybody.